After the divorce, I became the rich woman's idol. Chapter 1. Are you too sure about this? No need to reconsider, we've decided to divorce. The 1-month cooling off period has already passed. In the bustling district of Magic City, inside the Civil Affairs Bureau, a woman wearing a coat and sunglasses spoke up. Has the property been divided? Who gets custody of the child? Everything's written in the divorce agreement. The child stays with him, the house and the car are mine. There are no issues. The woman's tone was somewhat impatient, as though she didn't want to linger in this place any longer. Seeing the man remain silent, the staff member asked one more question. Sir, are you sure about the divorce? At this moment, Gao Jun expressionlessly nodded. Yes, divorce. All right then, please wait a moment. The staff member quickly processed their divorce papers. Here are your divorce certificates. From this moment on, you are no longer legally married. Of course, if you want to reconcile in the future, you can go across the street and re-register. No need to queue for the wedding registration, the staff member reminded them. The woman immediately responded, that won't happen. She then took one of the divorce certificates and turned to leave. Gao Jun politely took his certificate with both hands and nodded in thanks. Thank you. After he left, the staff member muttered softly to herself, they were such a good match, both handsome and beautiful, but they just broke up so easily. At this moment, Jiu Feier walked out of the Civil Affairs Bureau. Despite wearing sunglasses, her exquisite features were still visible beneath them. With her impressive figure and cold, glamorous aura, her rate of turning heads on the street was definitely 100%. She glanced back at Gao Jun and mocked, if I find out you can't make money or take care of our daughter, I'll go to court and take Yingying's custody back. Don't worry, I have hands and feet. I won't let our daughter go hungry. Anything other children have, she'll have too. Anything they don't have, she'll have as well. Jiu Feier didn't expect Gao Jun to suddenly become so confident. It was as though he had changed into a different person. She was instead angry and snapped, it'd better be that way. If I find out Yingying is suffering, I won't let you off the hook. Gao Jun calmly replied, don't pretend you care about our daughter now. I've already packed my and Yingying's things. They are being taken away by a moving service, and I've left the house keys on the table. Jiu Feier was displeased by his swift actions. She deliberately asked, what? In such a hurry? Are you looking for your next relationship? Gao Jun didn't answer and prepared to leave. Jiu Feier, seeing him leave in a hurry, still tried to save face. I have visitation rights for Yingying. I'll want to see her on weekends, you have to arrange it. Sure, but I don't think you'll have time for that, Gao Jun said without turning around, leaving those words behind. Fei, look, men are like this. He's showing his true colors now. Her friend Tang Tingting, who had been watching from the side, immediately spoke up. Tingting, are all men this heartless? Jiu Feier looked at his retreating back, speaking angrily. Tang Tingting, who had always been scheming behind her back, advised, you've moved on, but he's still stuck where he is. Isn't he breaking up the natural thing? Besides, after his bankruptcy, he even had to deliver packages. He's not worthy of you. A man like Gao Jun, who's bankrupt, has no chance of making a comeback. He might never turn his life around. Now you can openly be with your college crush without any guilt. Listening to these words, Jiu Feier seemed more resolute. She thought to herself, the happiness Gao Jun can't give me, someone else will. She then sent a message to Lin Chen, darling, I've divorced. When will you? Gao Jun walked down the street, feeling somewhat heavy-hearted. It wasn't because of the divorce agreement he had just signed. Rather, it was because 10 minutes ago, he had crossed over into this parallel world. The original owner was also called Gao Jun. Back in college, the original owner had secretly loved his wife, Jiu Feier. However, at the time, Jiu Feier didn't care for him at all and was deeply in love with her so-called white moonlight figure, Lin Chen. Because Lin Chen felt that Jiu Feier was too controlling, he rejected her confession. The original owner seized the opportunity to comfort the heartbroken woman. Their relationship gradually blossomed into love. One rainy night, under the influence of alcohol, their feelings grew deeper. But since they didn't have any protection at the time, Gao Jun decided to stop things right there. At that time, Gao Feier was very assertive and said that love and desire shouldn't be constrained. And so, the two of them had their first time. They both thought there was no way she could get pregnant. But a month later, she did. Out of a sense of responsibility, Gao Jun chose to marry her, intending to take care of Gao Feier for the rest of his life. They had their first child, named Gao Ying. After graduation, Gao Jun's business started to thrive, and Gao Feier maintained her hot figure even after giving birth. They had a car, a house, a beautiful woman, and a child. To others, Gao Jun seemed to be the winner in life. However, life was not always smooth sailing. In recent years, the economic downturn had severely affected Gao Jun's business, leading to bankruptcy. At first, Gao Feier encouraged him to bounce back. But soon, with constant disagreements and life's pressures mounting, the saying "poor couples always quarrel" rang true. During this time, Gao Feier unknowingly reconnected with Lin Chen. Her dissatisfaction with life and the increasing disharmony in their marriage quickly led her to betray her love for Gao Jun. The original owner had always tried his best for the family and their daughter, hoping Gao Feier would come around. But the more he tolerated, the worse she became. In the end, she asked for a divorce. The original owner was reluctant and wanted to think it over. But Gao Feier gave him a 1-month deadline. After the 1-month cooling-off period passed, she immediately found Gao Jun and insisted on signing the divorce agreement. The original owner had been trying to save the marriage, hoping to give their daughter a complete family. But under his ex-wife's relentless pressure, he eventually agreed to the divorce. With no concrete evidence of her infidelity, the original owner initially planned to divide the property 50-50 and keep custody of the child. But Gao Feier was determined to fight for custody of the child, even considering taking it to court. He had consulted a lawyer, and typically, judges would favor awarding custody to the party with a more stable income. Helpless, the original owner had no choice but to agree that he would take custody of the child, while the house and car would go to her. After understanding these circumstances, Gao Jun, who had crossed into this world, initially wanted to fight for more. However, since the divorce agreement had already been signed, there was nothing more to be done. But this marriage had to end. With a situation like this hanging over him, he wouldn't compromise like the original owner did. He knew that an unhappy family was far more hopeless than an incomplete one. Of course, based on his memories, the original owner had secretly done a paternity test after suspecting his wife's infidelity. Fortunately, the child was his. Now that the divorce was final, Gao Jun walked down the street, and the divorce no longer weighed on him. He considered it as having borrowed another man's wife for 6 years. Now, the focus was on making money, not just for himself but also to care for his daughter. Suddenly, a sound was heard. Their man's strength system is starting up. System has detected that their host is currently in a divorce state. Women only slow down a man's progress. Wishing you a happy breakup. Host, Gao Jun. Age, 29. Assets, 3,857 yuan. Appearance, 76. Strength, 62. Health, 55. Skills, cooking level 3, driving level 3. Experience, 1,203. The purpose of this system is to help you live life as a true man, enhance and optimize yourself, and become a top-tier talent. While making money, the system will reward you with the equivalent amount. The more you earn, the more you are rewarded. You'll also gain experience points to improve your attributes and skills. Main Task 1, the system detects that their host has been in poor mental condition for the past 2 years, and your physical health is lacking. If you run 3 kilometers every day for a week, you'll earn a reward of 10,000 yuan. After understanding the system, Gao Jun realized that as long as he worked hard and completed the system's tasks, he wouldn't need to worry about money. With money, he'd have a chance to make a comeback. Thinking about this, he couldn't help but feel more motivated. He then looked down at his daughter and said with apology, "Ying, I need to tell you something. I've separated from mommy. From now on, you'll live with daddy. The house we're living in might not be very big, but once daddy makes more money, we'll get a bigger house for you." Daddy. Gao Ying, inheriting her parents' looks, had smooth, delicate skin, and she immediately hugged Gao Jun's leg, happily saying, "As long as I'm with daddy, Ying doesn't need a big house." Looking at her innocent and adorable face, Gao Jun felt even more guilty. Because of the adults' issues, she would now grow up in a single-parent family. It was all their fault. He quickly added, "But don't worry, mommy will come visit you from time to time. We'll both be here for you as you grow up." "I don't want to." Gao Ying immediately pouted her cute little face, shaking her head. "I don't want mommy. She does tea like me. She never plays with me, always goes out shopping with her friends, and it's just me and daddy at home." After thinking for a moment, she excitedly said, "Daddy, how about you find me a stepmom? I think teacher Jiang would be great. She's as pretty as mommy. No, she's even prettier than mommy." Chapter 2, Teacher Jiang, Mommy doesn't he want me and daddy anymore? Gao Jun never imagined that a 5-year-old child would casually mention the word stepmother. She must have watched too many TV shows. Their teacher Jiang that Ying was referring to was her kindergarten teacher. A young female teacher who had only recently graduated. It was said that after this teacher joined the kindergarten, the number of male parents picking up and dropping off their children had increased several times. Gao Jun had met her a few times, and while Ying might have exaggerated a little, he couldn't deny that teacher Jiang was indeed young and beautiful. But Gao Jun didn't have time to think about these things right now. He gently pinched Gao Ying's cheek and smiled. "Silly girl, what are you talking about? You're so mischievous. Your daddy can take care of you on his own. Daddy, teacher Jiang is really pretty, and she's really nice to me. You'll definitely like her," Gao Ying said, now playing the role of a little matchmaker, earnestly promoting her teacher. Gao Jun patiently replied, "Teacher Jiang is so young and pretty. Do you think I'm good enough for her? You shouldn't say things like that, okay? Daddy is definitely good enough. In Ying's heart, daddy is the best. You can do my hair better than mommy, 20 times better. You cook better than mommy too, 20 times better. Daddy, why don't I help you ask teacher Jiang out?" Right now, Gao Ying only knew that 20 was the biggest number, so she used 20 times without thinking. "If you keep saying that, daddy won't make you the corn and carrot salad you love tonight." Gao Jun pretended to be angry. "Daddy tilder Ying won't say anything anymore, Ying wants corn." Gao Ying grinned. In an instant, her expression changed from cheeky and playful to a pitiful little pout. Gao Jun couldn't help but laugh, but he had to admit, when his daughter smiled like that, his heart melted. This only strengthened his resolve to work hard and give Gao Ying a better life. Back at their new place, Gao Ying didn't mind the smaller house at all. Instead, she was busy helping Gao Jun in the kitchen. During this time, Gao Jun tried to get her out of the kitchen, but this little one insisted on staying with him, so he ended up keeping a close eye on her. After they finished eating and he got Ying to bed, his phone rang. Gao Jun glanced at the screen and saw that it was his childhood friend, Chen Haoran, calling. He picked up. "Hey, Haoran. Bro, you divorced your wife today?" Chen Haoran asked, uncertain. "Yeah, divorced." When Chen Haoran heard this, he immediately breathed a sigh of relief. "Bro, it was about time. You're such a good catch, you don't have to worry about finding another woman. I've been meaning to tell you, divorce is nothing serious. Marriage just gives you a mother-in-law, but divorce will give you dozens of little princesses. As long as we make our Korea business bigger, we can open branches, and then more branches." Hearing this, Gao Jun felt warm inside. Back when he was bankrupt and destitute, it was Chen Haoran who pulled him into starting a Korea business together. Though it was tiring and tough, they were able to make ends meet, save a little money, and pay off debts. And to save on labor costs, they even had to deliver the packages themselves. Previously, Gao Jun had worried that he wouldn't earn enough, but now with the self-reliant system, things might significantly improve for him. He quickly expressed his gratitude. "Thanks, Haoran. The 100,000 yuan you lent me, once I have the money, I'll pay you back." "Come on, bro, don't say that. Remember when I needed to go to work and I'd come over to your house every day to bum food off you? I must have eaten tens of thousands worth of food back then. Anyway, let us just focus on doing well now. We can't let your ex-wife look down on you." Chen Haoran encouraged him. "All right, don't worry about it. Then I won't disturb your rest. Once things settle down, I'll introduce you to a few girls with amazing figures. By the way, bro, what kind of woman do you like? Chen Haoran asked excitedly. Gao Jun smiled wryly. Forget it, right now, making money is more important. Money, of course, but a woman is important too. Come on, bro, what type do you like? Gao Jun thought for a moment and replied, a young woman who feels like a mature lady, or a mature lady who feels like a young woman. Chen Haoran paused for a second, then burst into laughter. Holy crap! Bro, you're something else. After a few more pleasantries, they hung up the phone. Gao Jun went to the bathroom and looked at himself in the mirror. At this moment, he looked scruffy and exhausted. It was clear that the original Gao Jun had put everything into trying to keep the family together. But for a woman who didn't love him, all that effort seemed not worth it. So, Gao Jun decided it was time for a change. Starting tomorrow, I'll run 3 kilometers every day for a week. That was his current main task. The next morning, Gao Jun took Gao Yingying to kindergarten. Yingying kept urging him all the way, Daddy, let us hurry to the kindergarten. Gao Jun didn't think much of it, assuming she just wanted to play with the other kids, so he hurried her along. Meanwhile, at the entrance of the kindergarten, a sweet voice called out, Good morning, Xiaoya. A little girl in a long dress was running towards a young woman standing at the door, calling out, Teacher Jiang. Wow, you're here so early today. I'll give you a candy later. Thank you, teacher. After sending the child into the classroom, Jiang Yilan stood by the door again, looking at the street in the distance. Just as she turned her head, a familiar voice immediately made her react. Teacher Jiang. She turned around to find Gao Yingying. Immediately, she squatted down and reached out to hug her. Yingying, you're here. Yingying threw herself into Jiang Yilan's arms and rubbed against her. She always thought Jiang Yilan's body was so soft, and lying on her felt like being with a mother. Then, Yingying immediately turned around to look at Gao Jun, purposely calling out, Daddy, I told you Teacher Jiang would be waiting for us at the door. Gao Jun smiled and lowered his head. Looking at Jiang Yilan holding Yingying, he respectfully greeted, Good morning, Teacher Jiang. Jiang Yilan looked at him, stood up, and nodded in return. Good morning, Yingying's father. After she stood up, Gao Jun took another look at her. His daughter was right. Teacher Jiang was indeed very beautiful. In her 20s, she wore a light-colored top and long skirt that highlighted her graceful demeanor. Her long, smooth black hair gleamed in the sunlight, and occasionally, a breeze would lift the ends slightly. Her features were delicate, with big, bright eyes and soft pink lips that looked like they could be kissed away with a touch. If Gao Jun's ex-wife followed the fashionable, sexy route, Teacher Jiang seemed to embody the elegant, noble daughter of a wealthy family. Yingying noticed they were talking, so she took the opportunity to say, Teacher Jiang. My daddy. Gao Jun immediately realized what was happening and quickly interrupted, worried Yingying might say the wrong thing. Yingying, I have to go. You stay here and listen to Teacher Jiang, okay? Then he looked at Teacher Jiang and smiled apologetically. Teacher Jiang, please take good care of Yingying. Sorry for the trouble. Jiang Yilan came back to her senses, glanced down, and smiled as she shook her head. No trouble at all. Gao Jun ruffled Yingying's hair and reminded her, Be good and listen to Teacher Jiang. Don't cause any trouble. Daddy, I won't cause trouble. I'm Teacher Jiang's little cotton-padded jacket. Gao Yingying retorted firmly. After saying that, she looked at Jiang Yilan, as if seeking her confirmation. Jiang Yilan smiled. Yes, Yingying is really good in kindergarten. Hearing that, Yingying looked back at Gao Jun, signaling with her eyes, See. Teacher Jiang said I'm her little cotton-padded jacket. Seeing his clever little girl, Gao Jun couldn't help but laugh. After a final reminder, he left. Once Gao Jun was gone, Yingying started her performance. She lowered her head and pouted, clearly looking a little sad. Jiang Yilan noticed her mood immediately and stepped forward, asking, What's wrong, Yingying? Yingying, turning on her acting skills, looked at Jiang Yilan with a pitiful expression and said, Teacher Jiang, my mommy and daddy got divorced. She doesn't want us anymore. When Jiang Yilan heard this, she was clearly taken aback. Chapter 3, The Right Person, the more you're together, the more you like them. After sending Gao Yingying to kindergarten, Gao Jun opened his running app on his phone. He planned to jog to the delivery station. Over the past 2 years, the original Gao Jun hadn't exercised much at all. After running about 600 meters, Gao Jun was already out of breath. My physical fitness is really poor. Gritting his teeth, he kept going. Even though the system didn't require this as a main task, he felt he couldn't keep being lazy. It wasn't worth all this effort for a woman who didn't love him. The distance from the kindergarten to the delivery station was almost exactly 3 kilometers. By the time Gao Jun arrived, he was drenched in sweat. His childhood friend, Chen Haoran, was busy sorting the deliveries in different sections. Double 11 is coming up, so there are a lot of packages, bro. I'll handle this batch, and you take care of. Chen Haoran turned around and was surprised to see Gao Jun drenched in sweat. Holy crap, what are you doing? Nothing, just went for a jog this morning, ran here, Gao Jun explained. Nice. Looks like divorced men are starting to discipline themselves. Chen Haoran laughed loudly. Go take a shower first, we need to deliver soon. Okay. After taking a shower, Gao Jun noticed a change in the system's task panel. Main task 1 detected that their hostess' mental state over the past 2 years is concerning, and physical fitness is poor. Run 3 kilometers daily for a week to receive a reward of 10,000 yuan. Completed 1/7. Looks like it's really working. Gao Jun felt a sense of anticipation. Not only could he get fitter, but he could also earn money, gain experience, and improve his attributes and skills. It was a win-win. As he rolled up his sleeves to load the packages onto a tricycle, a tall woman appeared in front of him. Her skin had a healthy peachy hue, smooth and firm, exuding a mature beauty. Her lips were a soft pink, with no excessive makeup, but a natural and elegant charm. She wore large black framed glasses, and through them, it was clear her eyes carried a deep, unspoken sorrow. Her long hair cascaded over her shoulders, dark and natural, with no excessive styling. Gao Jun recognized her immediately. She was Liang Yarqi, the wife of his ex-wife's affair partner. She had approached the original Gao Jun years ago, telling him that his wife might be having an affair. Although Liang Yarqi was beautiful, with a stunning S-shaped figure, even more eye-catching than his ex-wife Jiu Fei-er, her husband still cheated on her. This only proved the saying, the grass is always greener on the other side. Gao Jun looked at her confused expression and asked, "What are you doing here?" "My husband said he was going on a business trip today, but I checked his flight and train tickets, and there's no booking. Should I go catch him?" Liang Yarqi seemed to have been crying, speaking with a mixture of courage and fear. She wanted to be brave and confront her scoundrel of a husband to see if he was truly cheating. But she was also afraid. Because she loved him. She was terrified of witnessing something she could never forget. Her husband, Lin Chen, was handsome and had been the campus heartthrob back in college. In a university with more women than men, he had captivated countless girls. Liang Yarqi was also beautiful and had many suitors, but she had only eyes for Lin Chen. With the skill of a woman pursuing a man, they had successfully married. However, 6 months ago, she discovered her husband had been traveling frequently. After following him, she found him with Jiu Fei-er. Following the trail, Liang Yarqi had found Gao Jun. Perhaps both of them loved their spouses so deeply that, even when faced with the possibility of infidelity, they chose to deceive themselves. So, when she approached Gao Jun, Liang Yarqi wasn't sure if she was truly ready to confront her husband's betrayal. Gao Jun, however, simply replied, "You don't need to. I'm divorced." Divorced? Liang Yarqi's face was filled with shock upon hearing Gao Jun's words. She knew how much Gao Jun loved his wife. How could he have agreed to a divorce? Why did you get divorced? How could you? If you're divorced, what will I do? Liang Yarqi asked, stepping forward with tears in her voice. She wanted to vent her emotions, to release the confusion she had been feeling these past few days. Gao Jun didn't look at her, continuing to pack the deliveries. There's no need to torture yourself over someone who doesn't love you. Let go and live the life you want. I think you should move on too. Is it worth holding on to a man who doesn't love you? The life I want. Liang Yarqi had known for a long time what kind of life she wanted, working during the day, cooking a nice meal at night, and watching a movie with the one she loved. But those simple pleasures hadn't been realized for a long time. She watched Gao Jun working quickly, as if divorce didn't matter to him at all. But he had once said he would never divorce his wife. Now, he had divorced, and his wife, Jiu Fei was freed. Would her husband ever return? All right, I need to deliver these packages now. Before I go, I want to say something to you. Gao Jun didn't want to say much, but he added, let go. There are many things in life worth holding on to. Your husband no longer loves you, so let him go. In love, you can choose someone you like, but when it comes to marriage, you have to choose someone who's right for you. The right person, the more you're with them, the more you like them. But if they are not right for you, the more you're together, the more painful it gets. Let go. With that, he rode off on the tricycle. Liang Yarqi stood there, lost in thought. Gao Jun had said what needed to be said. Whether she could take that step was no longer his concern. The whole day, he focused on delivering packages. He didn't have time to think about marriage or love. Making money and providing a good life for his daughter was what mattered most. Because the kindergarten let out early, Gao Jun always felt like he'd just dropped off his daughter and was already picking her up again. When he arrived at the school, many parents were already waiting outside. Jiang Yilan led each child outside, greeting the parents standing at the door. This semester, with her addition to the kindergarten, more and more fathers were actively picking up their kids. Gao Yingying was sitting quietly nearby, waiting for her father's arrival. When Gao Jun reached the wall, he saw his daughter through the window. He called out, Yingying. Yingying immediately turned around, her bored expression transforming into a bright smile. She packed her bag and ran out of the classroom. Daddy. Jiang Yilan noticed Gao Jun's arrival and nodded slightly, reporting on Yingying's progress. Yingying did great today. She can already do addition within 20. Gao Jun was surprised. Really? That's amazing. He instinctively ruffled Yingying's hair. Yingying looked up, beaming with pride. Daddy, look. I'm so good. I think I'm a math genius. Can you do addition within 20 and you're a genius? Gao Jun laughed. There will be more difficult things ahead. Jiang Yilan praised her. Yingying has strong comprehension. I believe she'll be a great student in the future. Har har, I hope so. In today's world, the only way for ordinary people to succeed is through education, Gao Jun said gratefully. Thanks so much for your guidance, Teacher Jiang. Jiang Yilan smiled politely. It's nothing. As teachers, it's our duty to teach and help. And with such a good student like Yingying, it's hard not to like her. Yingying, seeing the two adults chatting happily, started giggling quietly, covering her mouth to avoid interrupting. Gao Jun noticed her actions and reminded, all right, Yingying, say goodbye to Teacher Jiang. Goodbye, Teacher Jiang. Goodbye, Yingying. After they left, Jiang Yilan continued greeting the other parents. When she glanced up, she saw Gao Yingying walking with her father, both laughing and chatting. The scene was warm and heartwarming. Chapter 4, Starting to Have Money. Since Jiu Fei divorced Gao Jun, she would have Lin Chen come over to her house as soon as work ended. Before, when they were having secret meetings, they used to book hotels nearby. Now that Gao Jun had taken their daughter and moved out, she was, of course, the sole owner of the house. But when Lin Chen entered the door, he furrowed his brows and asked, why did you divorce Gao Jun? So what? Isn't it good? Jiu Fei asked, puzzled. This way we can be together. Didn't we used to be together before? Lin Chen said, pulling off his tie and sitting down on the sofa. Go, pour me a glass of water. When Jiu Fei heard this, she worried Lin Chen might be angry, so she immediately poured him a glass of water and then tentatively said, but now we can be at home, sweet and loving Tilda. Lin Chen took a sip of water, then sighed, this is too hot. I thought you might want some hot water to warm yourself up, Jiu Fei explained. Lin Chen looked at her with a somewhat speechless expression. I liked you better when you were still someone else's wife. The thought that you were someone else's made me more motivated. Then don't you have any motivation now? Jiu Fei said, sitting directly on his lap. Lin Chen glanced at his watch and urged, all right, I need to go back. I came out pretending to be on a business trip. You're not staying here tonight. Jiu Fei sounded clearly disappointed. You sleep by yourself. I'm going back, Lin Chen said, pushing her aside as he stood up and grabbed his coat to leave. Ji Yufei immediately became upset and asked, then when are you going to divorce your wife? Depends on the situation. What's the rush? Lin Chen opened the door and turned back to say. Ji Yufei immediately came up behind him, hugging him from behind. Of course I'm anxious. I divorced for you. I didn't ask you to divorce. Now you're divorced, no one can restrain you. Plus, your ex-husband left you the house and car, and all he wants is the daughter. Isn't that great? Lin Chen pushed her hand away and reminded her, my wife is watching me closely. She might have figured it out. I want to come over for the next couple of days. With that, he left. Ji Yufei was left fuming. Sitting on the sofa, she looked around the quiet room. Before, when she was thirsty, all she had to do was call, and no matter what Gao Jun was doing, he would pour her water. Now, she had poured hot water for Lin Chen, but he didn't even drink a sip before leaving. Feeling the inequality of the situation, she opened WeChat and found her ex-husband Gao Jun's chat. At that moment, Gao Jun was cooking. His phone lit up briefly, and he glanced at the screen. Ji Yufei, has Yingying eaten yet? When Gao Jun saw it was a message from Ji Yufei, he didn't reply but continued cooking. On the other side, Ji Yufei, clearly impatient, sent another message. Ji Yufei? Still, no reply came. Feeling angry, Ji Yufei called him directly. At that moment, Gao Jun was stir-frying vegetables. Hearing the phone ring, he said to Gao Yingying, help me answer the phone. Gao Yingying immediately jumped off the sofa and skipped over to the kitchen. She stood on tiptoe, looked at the phone screen, and then said, Dad, it's Mom calling. Only then did Gao Jun notice it was a call from Ji Yufei. Yingying, you answer it, Gao Jun said. I don't want to, Gao Yingying pouted. I don't want to hear Mom's voice. Answer it. In the end, Gao Yingying picked up the phone. Hello Mom. Ji Yufei was about to lose her temper and question Gao Jun for not replying to her messages, but hearing her daughter's voice, she immediately calmed down and said, Yingying, have you eaten? Dad is cooking. Gao Yingying glanced at Gao Jun and explained. Okay, eat more later. Mom will come to see you after a while. If you want Mom to take care of you, just tell me. As Ji Yufei said this, doubt started creeping into her mind. Before the divorce, she felt her daughter was a burden, affecting her love of freedom. But now, she was trying to take on the responsibility of being a mother. To her surprise, Gao Yingying decisively refused, no need, Mom. Dad is taking care of me. I'm going to eat now. Bye, Mom. In just a few words, Gao Yingying hung up the phone. Looking at the phone that had been hung up, Ji Yufei was momentarily stunned. She quickly realized that it must have been Gao Jun who taught their daughter to say that. Gao Jun, if you don't take good care of Yingying, I'll apply to the court for custody of her. On the other side, Gao Jun, seeing that Gao Yingying had hung up Ji Yufei's call, didn't he say much. He just lightly remarked, you're hanging up the phone already. She doesn't care about me, so I don't care, Gao Yingying pouted, then hummed. Dad. Gao Yingying came over to him, looking serious. Since I was little, only you cared about me. Besides you, it's only Teacher Jiang. Even if I want to look for Mom, I want someone like Teacher Jiang. Gao Jun was amused. This child had really taken a liking to Teacher Jiang. They'd only known each other for one semester at kindergarten, and yet their bond was already so strong. He picked up Gao Yingying with one arm and carried a plate of food with the other. Stop talking about Teacher Jiang all the time. She is so young, and Dad is so old, how could that work? Dad, you're not old at all. Gao Yingying was anxious, quickly explaining, Dad, you're handsome and young. Dad, if you're too shy to ask Teacher Jiang out, I'll help you. Gao Jun smiled and gave her a playful tap on the forehead. If you bring this up again, I won't make you the Kohler chicken wings anymore. Woo woo woo. Dad, I was wrong. Just then, Gao Jun looked at his daughter, who was working hard to clean the plate while holding a chicken wing, chatting and laughing. He couldn't help but feel even more guilty. At that moment, his phone rang with a text message. China Merchants Bank, your savings account ending in 0948 has been credited with 9,241 renminbi. Your balance is now 12,821 renminbi. Gao Jun realized his salary had come in. Even though the courier station had just been established and there were still many expenses, Chen Haran still decided to pay him a monthly salary of 10,000 yuan. After deducting social security and taxes, Gao Jun still received more than 9,000 yuan a month. For Gao Jun, who had gone bankrupt, this was a large sum of money. At least now, he and his daughter could continue living in this bustling city. As he was thinking, the phone beeped again. China Merchants Bank, your savings account ending in 0948 has been credited with 9,241 renminbi. Your balance is now 22,062 renminbi. When he saw this message, Gao Jun couldn't help but feel overjoyed. It wasn't because the bank had sent two identical messages, but because the balance had changed. This meant that whatever he earned, the system would double it. This gave him even more motivation. Looking at Gao Yingying, who was playing with her toys, Gao Jun made a promise to himself, "Don't worry, Yingying. Dad will make sure you live a good life from now on." Chapter 5, Midnight, Liang Yarqi's Call. "Ilan, what are you doing?" In a two-bedroom apartment, a graceful young woman, Han Yuan, walked out of the bathroom, drying her hair. She noticed Jiang Ilan sitting in the bedroom, writing something with a pen. As Han Yuan entered the room, Jiang Ilan was startled. She quickly closed the notebook and said, Yuan, you scared me to death." "Oh, writing in a diary, huh?" Han Yuan teased. "Who writes diaries anymore?" "I do," Jiang Ilan replied, noticing that Han Yuan was only wearing a loose bathrobe, with nothing underneath. Frowning, she added, "You should pay attention to your image even at home. At least put on some underwear." "My dear sister," Han Yuan complained, "this is our home. If I have to wear underwear at home, I might as well just die." She continued, "Besides, wearing it or not, it makes no difference. You can't even tell." "But you?" As she spoke, Han Yuan reached out, playfully lifting Jiang Ilan's chin. Jiang Ilan immediately protected herself and scolded with a smile, "What are you doing? Oh, I really envy you. A top graduate from Capital Normal University, great figure, good image, and most importantly, you're a D cup. Yet, you chose to be a kindergarten teacher." Han Yuan lay down on her bed. "Honestly, if I had half your looks and figure, I'd be a web celebrity by now. I don't like being in the public eye or appearing online." "I don't see anything wrong with being a kindergarten teacher," Jiang Ilan explained. Half a year ago, as graduation approached, she decided to return to her hometown. During this time, her parents arranged many blind dates for her, with a civil servant, a university instructor, and a businessman. All of them expressed interest in dating her after seeing her photo. Though Jiang Ilan seemed soft-hearted, she was resolute when it came to relationships. If she didn't like someone, she wouldn't pursue it. To avoid her parents' matchmaking, she turned down a high-paying job as a schoolteacher and returned to the city where she had studied as a child, becoming a kindergarten teacher. At this point, Han Yuan noticed a jar of Lucky Stars on Jiang Ilan's desk and asked curiously, "When did you get this jar of Lucky Stars?" "I folded them last week. I plan to give them to my students tomorrow," Jiang Ilan explained. Han Yuan sensed something was on Jiang Ilan's mind, so she asked, "Hey, has anything juicy happened in your class recently? Spill it." After thinking for a moment, Jiang Ilan explained, "There's a girl in my class, very lively, pretty, and smart. All the teachers love her. But, her parents divorced a few days ago. I'm folding these Lucky Stars to cheer her up and keep her from falling into the shadow of a single-parent family." "Wow, really?" Han Yuan was surprised. "I heard that children from single-parent families often develop extreme personalities. Lively kids can become introverted, and then they become shy and insecure. That's exactly what I'm worried about," Jiang Ilan sighed. "But thankfully, her dad really loves her, so I think she'll grow up healthily." Seeing Jiang Ilan's expression, Han Yuan teased, "You're not interested in her dad, are you? What nonsense are you talking about?" Jiang Ilan frowned. "I'm her teacher, that's impossible. What's wrong with that? He's single after the divorce, perfectly fine," Han Yuan laughed, wrapping her arms around Jiang Ilan's neck. Our Elan is a pure flower, how could she like a divorced middle-aged man? Your standards are way too high. I don't care about looks when choosing a partner. I care about the feeling, Jiang Elan said softly. Is he handsome? Han Yuan asked. Well, he is quite good looking. I've heard from Ying before that his family was in business, but they lost money. Probably the divorce hit him hard, and lately, when he picks up Ying, he hasn't been in the best mental state, Jiang Elan explained. Han Yuan nodded. Then you should focus more on his daughter. Sigh, the economy is bad these days. Once something goes wrong, marriages start to fall apart. Sometimes, money is an important factor in maintaining a family. Listening to her friend's words, Jiang Elan's gaze shifted to the jar of Lucky Stars, and she couldn't help but feel a shift in her thoughts. Jin, my neighborhood. Lin Chen arrived home and unlocked the door. I'm back. Usually, when he said this, Liang Yarki would come out of the kitchen and say, Hubby's back. Are you tired? But tonight, after he took off his shoes, there was no sound from the kitchen. Yarki? Lin Chen called out, his voice unsure. He entered the kitchen and found it empty. The living room and bedroom were also quiet. Confused, he sent Liang Yarki a message. Lin Chen, where are you? Soon, Liang Yarki replied, I went to see a movie with my friend. I'll stay at her place tonight. You can order takeout. Seeing this, Lin Chen looked around the house. He dialed Jiu Feier's number. Lin Chen, I'm coming over to eat. Make something. At first, Jiu Feier had been a little upset when Lin Chen left earlier. She didn't expect him to come back. She quickly responded, sure, but I'm not very good at cooking. Maybe we can eat out. You can't even cook. Fine, let us eat out, Lin Chen replied, a bit annoyed. Jiu Feier's mood clearly dropped, as in the past, it had always been Gao Jun who handled the cooking. Midnight. The city lights dimmed. Gao Jun looked at his daughter, who was sound asleep, then closed his eyes and drifted into sleep. However, not long after, his phone began vibrating. He quickly picked up the phone. Looking at the screen, he furrowed his brow. It was a call from Liang Yarki. At this late hour, it couldn't possibly be for anything good. By now, he had already divorced Jiu Feier. Whether she was alive or dead, or how many people she was with, didn't matter to him anymore. Gao Jun just wanted to raise his daughter well and let her grow up happy and healthy. So, he hung up the call from Liang Yarki and went back to bed. But after just a couple of seconds, his phone vibrated again. He worried it would wake Ying, so reluctantly, he walked out of the bedroom and answered the phone. Why are you calling so late? What's going on? Gao Jun said, sounding frustrated. On the other end, a male voice responded, sorry, sir, this is Manager Chen from Zhongying International Cinema. A lady named Liang Yarki came to watch a movie here, but she has been drinking during the show. Now that the movie is over, she is drunk. Gao Jun was puzzled. He asked, shouldn't you be calling her husband? I'm not her husband. Well, we did plan to contact her husband, but she wouldn't let him come pick her up. After thinking for a while, she gave us your name and asked us to find your number in the contacts, Manager Chen said awkwardly. Gao Jun was speechless. I'm not coming. It's so late, who still goes to the cinema? You should call her husband, he said, about to hang up. But then, Liang Yarki's voice came through the phone, sounding urgent and slurred, Gao Jun, come pick me up. Sir, if you can't come, we'll have to call the police, the cinema staff explained. Gao Jun glanced at the bedroom door, then at the clock on the wall. After thinking for a moment, he finally said, which Zhongying cinema is it? It's the one at Baihuo Times Square. Okay, I'll be there in 15 minutes. He hung up, opened the bedroom door to make sure Ying was still asleep, and then quickly put on his clothes. If it weren't for the fact that we've both been cheated on, I wouldn't even bother with this, Gao Jun muttered, heading out the door. Chapter 6 Bring Liang Yarki home. Since Gao Jun had sold his car to pay off his debts, he had no choice but to take a Didi to the cinema. Upon reaching the 4th floor, he walked to the front desk and asked, hello, is there a drunk lady here? The middle-aged man beside him hurriedly said, Mr. Gao, right. The lady is here. Following him into the office, Gao Jun saw Liang Yarki sitting on a chair with a backrest, looking a little dizzy. The middle-aged man then introduced himself. I am Manager Chen of the China Film Cinema. I was the one who called you just now. Gao Jun looked at the drunk Liang Yarki in front of him and was a little speechless. Come to the cinema to drink. What's the difference between this and playing landlord in a bar? Then he walked over and asked, why don't you go home in the middle of the night and come to the cinema to drink? What do you think? Liang Yarki slowly raised her head after hearing their voice. Tears flashed in her eyes, as if she was drowned in endless sadness, revealing a deep sense of loss. Her long hair was scattered on her shoulders, adding a bit of messy beauty. Perhaps because she drank too much and felt hot, the top button of her clothes was unbuttoned, revealing the delicate skin at her collarbone. Seeing Gao Jun coming, Liang Yarki had a bitter smile on her lips, sometimes slightly opened, as if whispering something, or immersed in her own sad world. The slightly drunk state made her look more fragile, as if a gust of wind could blow her down. You come. Perhaps seeing Gao Jun finally come, she was happier. I knew you would come. Gao Jun was worried that this woman would talk too much and make many mistakes, so he planned to take her away. I'll take you back. Perhaps Manager Chen of the cinema noticed that the relationship between the two was unusual. Just in case, he asked one more question. Sir, you are taking this lady away. You need to sign to confirm that you are taking her away. And, excuse me, what is your relationship with this lady? Gao Jun didn't know how to answer for a while. It's impossible to answer that she is the wife of his ex-wife's cheating partner. If this sentence is really said, the CPU of this Manager Chen will probably have to go around several times before it can react. So he opened his mouth and said, my sister is her best friend. She quarreled with her husband and used me as a tool. Hearing this, Manager Chen suddenly realized, okay, then please send this lady back. Just like that, Gao Jun helped Liang Yarki stand up. Why is it so heavy? This is Gao Jun's subconscious reaction. Although Liang Yarki has a good figure and cleavage, it is at most about 100 pounds. Combined with her height of nearly 1.7 meters, in the eyes of outsiders, it is simply that the convex parts are absolutely clear and the thin parts are particularly obvious. He then remembered a saying that a drunk person's bones are made of iron. There is no way, he can't help her go. As for the princess hug, it is obviously too strenuous. He had no choice but to come to Liang Yarki and squatted, hurry, I'll carry you. Liang Yarki didn't think much about it. She had drunk 5 bottles in a row, and now she wanted to get on the back. So she leaned on him. Manager Chen was envious when he saw this scene. Maybe he would call his sister tonight to ask if there was a girlfriend with such a good figure. Gao Jun carried Liang Yarki and left the cinema. Liang Yarki was getting more and more excessive. She even put her hands around his neck and tightened it. Even Gao Jun could feel the softness on his back. Although Liang Yarki drank alcohol, she still had a faint fragrance on her body. Under the dual stimulation of alcohol and perfume, I have to say that I haven't experienced this feeling for a long time. But Gao Jun still thought it was too ridiculous. He actually cheated on his ex-wife's wife. What kind of plot is this? Oh, forget it, send her home quickly, otherwise it will be a mess. Walking on the road, Gao Jun was about to take a drip. Liang Yarki, who was carrying her on his back, muttered, I drove here. Where is the car? Gao Jun thought it was just right, so he wouldn't have to take a drip and waste money. It seems to be the parking lot on the second floor below ground. I don't remember it very well. You can look for it slowly. Liang Yarki said, and then she leaned her head directly on Gao Jun's body, as if she was about to fall asleep. Seeing this, Gao Jun hurriedly shouted, hey, don't sleep, you still said the license plate number, what is your license plate number? Helplessly, he had to carry Liang Yarki and slowly walked into the parking lot. All the way to the second floor below ground, although Liang Yarki was not heavy, carrying her like this made him breathless. Adding the eyes coming and going, he felt a little uncomfortable. He put Liang Yarki down and let her lean against a pillar. He searched for the key from his body. When he got close to her, he could still clearly see Liang Yarki's heaving chest. Gao Jun was not shy about it, and he looked wherever he wanted. After all, he was a gentleman. It was impossible that anyone would think that he would do that kind of thing in a parking lot. After finding the key, Gao Jun pressed it twice. Finally, he found the BMW not far away. He got in the car and drove it to Liang Yarki's side. Then Gao Jun helped her up and prepared to get in the car. During this process, a car happened to pass by. Looking at the way Gao Jun helped Liang Yarki, he took another look at Liang Yarki's face and figure. The male owner of the car stared. "Can you pick up in the parking lot?" Gao Jun naturally ignored other people's eyes. He returned to the driver's seat and fastened the seat belt for Liang Yarki next to him. When he approached her, in the narrow space inside the car, a unique smell of wine and woman's body fragrance came from Liang Yarki's neck. While fastening the seat belt, Gao Jun's fingers inevitably touched her skin. It was a little cool, as if touching the softest cloud. Under the lights of the parking lot, Liang Yarki's profile is indeed beautiful. Slightly blurred eyes, slightly red cheeks, slightly messy hair. Perhaps Liang Yarki noticed that Gao Jun was looking at her, opened her eyes, and smiled foolishly. "Do you think I am prettier than your ex-wife?" Gao Jun did not answer directly, but stepped on the accelerator and drove away. Liang Yarki talked to herself, with a slightly lost look in her eyes. "But why does my husband still want to cheat with your ex-wife? Am I not beautiful? Where is your home?" Gao Jun changed the subject. "I told him I'm staying at my best friend's house tonight." Liang Yarki rubbed her temples with her hands. "I'm not going home." He had no choice but to ask again, "Where is your best friend?" "She's not in Shanghai recently. She went to study in another place." Gao Jun said helplessly, "Then I'll take you to a hotel." "I didn't bring my ID card." Gao Jun. Liang Yarki whispered, "I'll go to your house." "No." Gao Jun refused without thinking. He didn't want Gao Ingyin to see a strange woman at home the next day. "Then you can just park on the side of the road, and I'll sleep in the car." Liang Yarki suddenly found that Gao Jun seemed to have changed. From the previous timid, he began to become principled and opinionated. Is this the transformation of divorce? If she divorced, would she be like this? Liang Yarki began to miss the confident and expectant self of her student days. Gao Jun looked at her state, thought again, and finally drove towards home. But before going upstairs, he looked at Liang Yarki and made 3 rules. After entering, go to sleep in the bedroom immediately, don't make any noise, and leave before 7 o'clock the next day. Don't let my daughter see it. Liang Yarki closed her eyes, pouted her little mouth, and nodded like a child. "Okay, I know." Just when the two reached an agreement, Liang Yarki unbuttoned another button of her clothes and uttered a word, "Hot." With the help of the seat belt, it was more obvious. Chapter 7 Teacher Jiang, what do you think of my dad? Park the car. Gao Jun looked at Liang Yarki, who was drowsy in the passenger seat. After thinking for a while, he still didn't wake her up, but opened the car door and helped her down. It was almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and the neighbors around were all asleep. Otherwise, helping a drunk stranger home in the middle of the night would probably not leave a good impression. After finally opening the door, Gao Jun helped her to another room. The next second, he threw Liang Yarki on the bed. Liang Yarki woke up at this time, frowned, and muttered, "You hurt me. Don't talk, just sleep in this room. I'll set an alarm for you, and you have to leave before Ingyin wakes up tomorrow morning." Gao Jun picked up her mobile phone, unlocked it, and set the alarm. Looking at her eyes slightly closed, her long eyelashes cast a shadow under her eyelids, making her look more mysterious and charming. In the slightly drunk sleepiness, her face was faintly flushed. Her whole body has beautiful curves, like a work of art carefully carved by nature. Since Liang Yarki didn't wear much today, the thin clothes stuck to her skin, showing her graceful figure vaguely. Even the collar was slightly open, revealing her delicate collarbone and soft shoulders. Long hair scattered on the pillow, like a black waterfall, glittering with a little luster. However, Gao Jun didn't have much thought about her at the moment. He had to go and see if Gao Ingyin woke up. After closing the door, he returned to his room. Looking at Gao Ingyin, who was sleeping soundly, Gao Jun was relieved. On the other side, Liang Yarki had woken up. She opened the door, looked at the room in front of her right, and walked slowly over. When she saw Gao Jun covering Gao Ingyin with a quilt and observing her sleeping, she showed an envious expression for a while. Liang Yarki and Lin Chen had no children. It's not that one of them couldn't have children. It's just because Lin Chen didn't like children. He thought that children would become a bondage of marriage. At first, Liang Yarqi thought that her husband just hadn't grown up yet and would want to be a father one day. In the 4 years of marriage, she also tried to change Lin Chen's idea. But he still didn't agree to have children. In this way, every time she saw other families happily showing off their children, she could do nothing at home on weekdays. Unconsciously, Liang Yarqi walked in. Gao Jun heard the noise, looked back and frowned. He asked in a low voice, "What are you doing in here?" Liang Yarqi's body was a little shaky. She tried to stand steady, tiptoed over and whispered, I want to see your daughter." "No, what if she wakes up?" Before he finished speaking, Liang Yarqi half squatted down, lay on the bed, and looked at Gao Ingyin, who was sleeping soundly, full of love. Seeing her love, Gao Jun had to give up. However, Liang Yarqi didn't stay for long, and children wake up easily. She immediately stood up and staggered out. Gao Jun was worried that she would fall and cause a bigger noise. He stepped forward to support her, and after walking out of the room, he immediately closed the door. "What are you going to do if you don't sleep?" Gao Jun asked. Liang Yarqi squinted her eyes, trying to stay awake, and said, "I want to take a shower." "No, you just drank alcohol, you can't take a shower, and it's too noisy." Gao Jun refused. "Then I want a towel, wipe." Looking at the troublesome Liang Yarqi, Gao Jun now regretted bringing her home. After rummaging through their boxes, he finally found a new towel. "You are not allowed to take a shower, you can only wipe your body." "Then, do you have clothes?" "I want to change into clean clothes to sleep." "You can sleep or not." Gao Jun waved his hand and went into the room. 3 seconds later, he threw out a white dress. Looking at his hypocritical look, Liang Yarqi suddenly laughed, and her heart gradually warmed up. You know, her husband Lin Chen would never treat her like this. Entered the bathroom. Wiped the body and put on a loose top. Liang Yarqi finally closed the door and took a nap. It was 7:30 in the morning. The alarm clock rang. Gao Ingyin was the first to be woken up. She opened her eyes in confusion and pushed Gao Jun, who was still sleeping beside her. "Dad, get up." Gao Jun woke up then. He turned off the alarm clock and sat up from the bed. Last night, he carried Liang Yarqi on his back for a long distance, and with a late night, his waist was obviously a little bit unbearable. "You still have to exercise." Gao Jun knew that the body is the capital of the revolution. Once the body is broken, no matter how much money you make, it will be useless. As a child, Gao Ingyin is naturally full of energy. She has already started to put on her clothes and came to the mirror to show off. While combing her hair, she looked at Gao Jun and said proudly, "Dad, do I look good, tilde?" "Look good, Ingyin is the best looking." Gao Jun smiled. "Dad, I'm going to brush my teeth." With that, Gao Ingyin took the initiative to walk out of the bedroom. Gao Jun suddenly thought of something, and he hurriedly said, "Ingyin, comb your hair again, Dad will go to see if the bathroom is leaking." He closed the door. He knocked on the bathroom door and then pushed it open. She was not there. Just in case, he gently pushed open the door of the bedroom next door. Originally, he thought Liang Yarqi would leave on time. But he didn't expect that the woman would curl up on the bed, like a kitten, sleeping soundly. Seeing this, Gao Jun hurriedly closed the door. This woman is really unreliable. Then Gao Jun took Gao Ingyin into the bathroom. "Well, Ingyin, let's go wash up quickly, we will be late later." "Okay, tilde." 10 minutes later, Gao Jun took his daughter out. Before closing the door, he also glanced at the direction of Liang Yarqi's room. What a sin, he actually let the wife of his ex-wife's cheating partner live at home. Fortunately, Gao Ingyin didn't find out. At this moment, Gao Ingyin was still thinking about how to match her father with teacher Jiang. Soon, they arrived at the entrance of the kindergarten. Teacher Jiang still greeted every student as usual. "Teacher Jiang." When Gao Ingyin's voice came, Jiang Yilan turned around. The smile on her face became brighter. She was wearing a green floral dress today, and the hem of the dress swayed gently with her steps, like cherry blossoms dancing in the wind in spring. The neckline and cuffs of the dress were decorated with delicate lace, and a wide belt was tied around the waist, making her figure more graceful. Her hair drooped naturally, draped over her right shoulder, and a few strands of hair gently fell beside her cheeks. There was a pair of shallow dimples on her cheeks, and whenever she smiled, the two dimples would appear and disappear. Gao Jun looked at her smiling face, and at some point, a picture of a girl appeared in his mind. "Hello, Teacher Jiang." He nodded with a smile. Jiang Yilan looked at Gao Jun and responded with a smile, "Good morning, Yingying's father, tilde. Then Yingying is in your care." "Okay, Yingying's father, you are busy." Jiang Yilan waved her hand. Gao Jun looked at the little one and reminded him, "Remember to listen to the teacher." "Don't worry, Dad, I will definitely listen to Teacher Jiang." Gao Yingying smiled. Soon, Gao Jun left. Jiang Yilan then retracted her gaze and said to Gao Yingying, "Yingying, let's go into the classroom." At this time, a child happened to wave goodbye to his mother. "Bye, Mom, remember to pick me up in the afternoon." Okay, you listen to the teacher in kindergarten." Gao Yingying immediately showed an envious expression. "They all have mothers, but I don't." When Jiang Yilan heard this, she looked at Gao Yingying's aggrieved expression, and immediately squatted down and hugged her and said, "It's okay, Yingying, you have Teacher Jiang, and the teacher will always be with you." Woo woo. "Teacher Jiang, you are so good to me, sometimes I feel like you are my mother." Gao Yingying's acting came as soon as she said it, and she immediately pouted and cried. Jiang Yilan was even more heartbroken, and touched her head and said, "Yingying, don't cry. From now on, the teacher will always be with you. What others have, our Yingying must have too." Gao Yingying immediately raised her head and said excitedly, "Teacher Jiang, what do you think of my dad?" Your dad?" Jiang Yilan was confused by the question of this little girl, and a blush appeared on her face and said, Your dad is very good, loves you very much, and must be a good dad." Chapter 8 Mission completed. Get rewards. Gao Yingying was very happy to hear what Jiang Yilan said, and she took the opportunity to attack. "Teacher Jiang, can you be my mother? My father is very good. He is family-oriented and loves me very much. I believe he will take good care of you." Jiang Yilan was at a loss for words when she heard Gao Yingying say that. She had to comfort her. "Then the teacher has to consider it tilde if Yingying can insist on completing the tasks assigned by the teacher every day, she will grow up healthily." "Okay. Teacher Jiang, Yingying will definitely be able to do it." "Okay, then let's go into the classroom tilde." On the other side. After Gao Jun sent Gao Yingying off, he ran back to the express station as usual. In fact, he originally thought about whether he should go home and let the woman leave quickly. But considering that he was drunk last night, he finally softened his heart. He ran all the way back to the express store. The system has updated the progress of the main task in a timely manner. Mainline Task 1, their host's mental state has been worrying for the past 2 years, and his physical fitness is not good. If you insist on running 3 kilometers for a week, you can get a reward of 10,000 yuan. For 7 completed. Now the task process is halfway through, and there are still 3 days before he can get a reward of 10,000 yuan. Now Gao Jun needs primitive accumulation, only in this way can he make a comeback. Although he has to rest for a long time every time he runs 3 kilometers. But in order to complete the task, he must persist. Chen Haoren watched Gao Jun run over again, and this perseverance also made him admire. "Brother Jun, I finally know why you were able to do big business before. This perseverance and persistence are unmatched. If I run a few kilometers every day, you might as well kill me." After listening, Gao Jun just smiled. If Chen Haoren knew that there would be a reward of 10,000 yuan for running a week, he might have gone to complete the task before dawn. After taking a shower, he started today's work. There were not many express deliveries in the morning, and Gao Jun delivered them along the way according to the number of express orders. But he was too busy to stop in the morning. Although he now has a system, he can't give up a job with an income of nearly 10,000 yuan. After he has accumulated a certain amount of wealth, Gao Jun will make money in other ways. At noon, he went home. Wanted to see if Liang Yarqi had left. When he got home, he didn't see her. He knocked at the door of the room first. Finally, he pushed the door open. No one. When he came to the bathroom, there was no one. Just when Gao Jun was about to leave, he noticed that the top he gave Liang Yarqi yesterday had been washed and hung on the balcony. That's better. Thinking of how he worked so hard to bring this woman home last night, Gao Jun sighed helplessly. In the next few days, Gao Jun didn't receive any calls from Liang Yarki. And he was finally quiet. The daily schedule is to send Gao Yingying to school, insist on running to complete the task, and deliver express. Although it is simple, it is also fulfilling. 3 days passed. Just after Gao Jun completed the 3-kilometer running task again, the system panel automatically sent a reminder. Mainline Task 1, it is detected that the host's mental state in the past 2 years is worrying and the physical fitness is not good. If you insist on running 3 kilometers for a week, you can get a reward of 10,000 yuan. Completed 7-7. Reward: congratulations to the host for winning a reward of 10,000 yuan. And 1,000 experience points. Soon, the ringtone of the mobile phone text message sounded again. China Merchants Bank, your savings account with the last number 0948 has a transfer deposit of 10,000 renminbi, and a current balance of 31,531 renminbi. China Merchants Bank, your savings account with the last number 0948 has a transfer deposit of 10,000 renminbi, and a current balance of 41,531 renminbi. This surprised Gao Jun. I didn't expect the system's reward to be doubled. In just 1 week, his savings went from a few thousand yuan to nearly 40,000 yuan. This also made him feel relieved. After all, this week's running exercise was really hard. But fortunately, hard work pays off. Running exercise can not only get monetary rewards, but also enhance physical health. Gao Jun opened the system panel and studied it. At this time, many values have changed. Host, Gao Jun. Age, 29 years old. Assets, 41,531 yuan. Appearance, 76. Strength, 63. Health, 56. Endurance, 57. Skills, cooking level 3, driving level 3. Experience value, 2,203, 1,000 experience points can upgrade 1 attribute. Gao Jun vaguely remembered that his health value was only 55 at the beginning. Now, after running for a week, his health attribute has also increased by 1 point. However, his physical fitness is still a bit poor. The 2 indexes of health and endurance did not even meet the passing standard of 60. As for his appearance, although he has not paid attention to maintenance in the past 2 years, his appearance is much worse than before. But he is still strong. Besides, he is almost 30 years old, so he must focus on health. As for appearance, he will slowly increase it when he has experience points in the future. So Gao Jun exchanged 2,000 experience points for 2 attributes. All added to health and endurance. When the values were added, Gao Jun obviously felt that his spirit was much better. There was no soreness in his waist just now. Only adding 1 point of health value, he had such performance. This made Gao Jun very happy. It's just that this endurance value has added 1 attribute, and there is no opportunity to display it at present. However, as long as he exercises slowly, both health and endurance can return to the peak state. You know, having sex 7 times a night is a basic exercise for 18-year-olds, but it is an unattainable dream for 30-year-olds. Just thinking about it, the system released another main task. Main task 2, their host's self-discipline is amazing. If you can train for abdominal muscles within half a month, you can get the stock code of 5 consecutive daily limits. Seeing this, Gao Jun was worried. It's not that this task is difficult. If you grit your teeth, it is still possible to train for abdominal muscles within half a month. But will there really be a stock with 5 consecutive daily limits? He remained skeptical. Considering that the system will not lie, Gao Jun plans to have a devilish training in the next half a month. The goal is to train for abdominal muscles. Soon, school is over in the afternoon. Gao Jun came to pick up Gao Yingying. When he saw Jiang Yilan, he greeted her with a smile. "Hello, Teacher Jiang." When Jiang Yilan saw Gao Jun, she recalled what Gao Yingying said this morning, and her cheeks turned slightly red. "Yingying dad, you are here." As she said that, she turned around and called Gao Yingying, "Yingying, look who is here." When Gao Yingying heard it, she immediately put on her school bag and walked out. "Dad, did you listen to the teacher today?" Gao Jun asked with a smile. Gao Yingying jumped up and down with a giggle. "Of course, Tilda. Well, then Dad will take you to a big meal today, and buy you clothes and shoes by the way." "Great. Jiang Yilan saw Gao Jun doting on Gao Yingyin so much, and so that his mental state was much better than a few days ago, thinking that he might have also come out of the divorce incident. She immediately reminded him, Yingyin, you should listen to your father more, tilde maybe you will have more clothes and shoes by then. Gao Yingyin's little head turned quickly, and she immediately pulled Gao Jun's hand and said, Dad, why don't we invite Teacher Jiang to have a big meal together? Teacher Jiang has worked hard. Gao Jun didn't know whether to laugh or cry when he heard it. He didn't expect this little girl to do this. Jiang Yilan also declined awkwardly, Yingyin, the teacher has to wait for other students' parents to pick them up, so they may not be able to go. Then Teacher Jiang, can you go with us next time? Gao Yingyin grinned. Looking at Gao Yingyin's expectant eyes, Jiang Yilan couldn't bear to refuse, so she had to respond with an awkward smile, okay. Okay, Teacher Jiang, we will order a big meal at that time. Let Dad pay for it. Gao Yingyin said to herself. Gao Jun interrupted in time, don't make trouble, Yingyin, Teacher Jiang is very busy and has no time to accompany you. After that, he looked at Jiang Yilan embarrassedly and apologized, sorry, Teacher Jiang, this girl is disrespectful, don't mind what she said. It's okay. Jiang Yilan smiled. In order to avoid Gao Yingyin saying more and making more mistakes, Gao Jun may have taken her away from the kindergarten. At the same time, Gao Jun's ex-wife Ji Yufei was arguing with Lin Chen. When will you divorce? I've been divorced for a week. Ji Yufei looked at Lin Chen, who was leaning on the sofa and eating fruit, and said angrily. Chapter 9 I don't want to see my mother. You have to know that my wife's family is rich. If I don't make some property during this period, how can I support you to spend lavishly at that time? Lin Chen replied with a smile. Ji Yufei felt that it made some sense when she heard it. But now that she is divorced, she really doesn't feel safe. Getting a marriage certificate with Lin Chen is Ji Yufei's biggest wish at present. Only with a marriage certificate can their relationship be more stable. Just when she was still a little angry, Lin Chen stood up and prepared to leave. Ji Yufei hurriedly asked, aren't you staying tonight? No. Lin Chen said and put on his clothes. Ji Yufei said unsatisfiedly, you haven't been with me well these days. Wait a few days, my wife will go back to her parents' home, I will come again. With that, Lin Chen left. After Lin Chen left, Ji Yufei looked at the empty house. She felt a little lonely. Just remembered the visitation rights every weekend, and she could take her daughter out to play. So she sent a message to Gao Jun. Ji Yufei, I will take my daughter out to play tomorrow. At this time, Gao Jun was shopping with Gao Yingyin. They came to a famous brand clothing store in Minsk. The waiter immediately came forward and asked friendly, hello, welcome to Balabalar clothing store. Hello. Gao Jun led Gao Yingyin in. The waitress was a girl in her early 20s. When she saw Gao Yingyin, she couldn't help but praise her, oh, little sister is so beautiful tilde. Gao Yingyin immediately smiled and said, thank you, sister, tilde. Oh, you are so sweet. What are you going to buy today? The waitress asked. Gao Jun smiled and replied, buy some clothes. Sir, we have recently launched several good clothes. The fabrics are very suitable for children's skin, and from a style point of view, it is also the most popular this winter tilde, the waitress said, and took Gao Jun and the others over. Xiao Lei, the waitress sitting at the front desk, saw this and whispered to her colleague next to her, guess, Chen Tong took them to see a piece of clothing worth hundreds of dollars. Will the father of the child buy it for the child? The colleague with short hair shook his head, I guess it's unrealistic. Generally, the father of the child will shake his head and choose the next store when he sees the price of clothes in our store. Yes, most of the people who come to buy clothes here are mothers with their children. Xiao Lei obviously didn't think much of the father's spending power. Chen Qiantong, who was introducing the styles to Gao Jun and Gao Yingyin, didn't take it seriously. She had just started working at the clothing store and needed a commission for her performance. Whether it was a father bringing his child or a mother, she would patiently introduce it. Gao Jun looked at the girl's coat in front of him and asked, how about this one? This coat is the most popular style under our semir. It uses soft and comfortable fabrics. It is light and breathable. It is suitable for the breeze in spring and autumn, and for indoor wear in winter. Look, the color of this coat is fresh pink, which gives people a warm and soft feeling, while not losing the childishness. Chen Qiantong immediately took off the coat, bent down and handed it to Gao Yingying, and at the same time explained to Gao Jun, "This collar design is simple and generous, and it is made of soft and comfortable fabrics. It is light and breathable. It is suitable for the breeze in spring and autumn, and it is suitable for indoor wear in winter." The stand-up collar design can not only protect the little girl's neck from the cold, but also add a sense of fashion. The cuffs are tightened to effectively prevent the cold wind from invading. The chest and back of this coat are decorated with cute cartoon patterns. These patterns are colorful and vivid. The zipper of the coat is made of smooth and easy-to-pull material, which is convenient for little girls to put on and take off by themselves. Yingying, do you like this one? I like it. Gao Yingying naturally loves this coat. How much is this one? Gao Jun asked. The waiter Chen Qiantong tried to test him. This model is very popular and the price is relatively high. We are currently offering a 28% discount in our store. After the discount, it only costs 788 yuan. Gao Yingying frowned when she heard this. Dad, it's too expensive. Yingying doesn't want it. Gao Jun smiled with relief after hearing this. Yingying is really sensible and will consider Dad. Chen Qiantong said awkwardly, how about I take you to see the clothes over there? The price-performance ratio over there is also good, the fabric is also okay, and the price will be cheaper than this coat. No need. Gao Jun gestured, just buy this one. We may need to buy other clothes. When the time comes, we will pack them together. See if you can get a discount. The waitress Chen Qiantong naturally didn't expect Gao Jun to be so straightforward. She quickly said, no problem. If you apply for a membership card here, you can get a 500 coupon for every 2,000 yuan you spend. Okay. Gao Jun said to Gao Yingying, Yingying, which other clothes do you want? Let's pick them all up today. Okay Tilder, no matter how old a woman is, as long as she has new clothes, she will be happy. Not to mention the conceited Gao Yingying. During this period, Gao Jun saw a message on WeChat. It was sent by Gu Feier. He typed, when? Come and pick her up directly. Gu Feier waited for a long time before seeing him reply to her. Naturally, she felt a little unhappy. Since the divorce, his attitude towards her has changed 180 degrees in an instant. This made Gu Feier wonder if Gao Jun had already decided to divorce, so he cut off the relationship so cleanly. Gu Feier, I'll pick her up there at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Gao Jun, express delivery station, I'll send her there when the time comes. Gu Feier, you're still doing express delivery there, I really admire you, please consider the child. Gao Jun, I don't think there's anything wrong with delivering express delivery. Gu Feier, which parent of a child who goes to school in Shanghai doesn't drive a Mercedes-Benz, BMW or KN? You, on the other hand, didn't make a comeback after going bankrupt, but instead settled for the status quo and delivered express delivery at the express delivery station. If Yingying is laughed at in the future and has mental health problems, I will never forgive you. Gao Jun didn't reply to her. Summer insects can't talk about ice. If it weren't for the law that there must be one visiting day per week, he would have blocked this bitch long ago. Soon, Gao Jun bought Gao Yingying 6 or 7 pieces of clothes and pants. Come on, sir, let's pay here. Xiao Lei and the other person who were watching the show at the front desk immediately sat up. They didn't expect that the customer's father actually spent money in the store. Salesperson Chen Qiantong zeroed the calculator and then came up with a number. Sir, if you apply for a card here, we still have a coupon of 500 yuan, which can be used on the spot. Do you need to apply for a membership? Gao Jun nodded, apply for one. Okay Tilder, Chen Qiantong immediately took out the registration book. Sir, please fill in your name and phone number. Sir, do you want cash or electronic payment? WeChat payment. Okay Tilder. Soon, the audio voice reminded, WeChat payment of 4,200 yuan. Sir, how about I add you on WeChat? When there are suitable clothing styles, I can take pictures for you to see. If you like it, come over anytime. Chen Qiantong said. Okay, sure. Just like that, after Gao Jun added WeChat, he took Gao Yingying away. As soon as he left, the two colleagues beside him were instantly surprised. Qiantong, he spent more than 4,000 yuan. Yes. Chen Qiantong said with a smile. I didn't expect this child's father to be so generous. He just asked the price and bought it. You know, male customers who buy more than 4,000 yuan in a store in one go are rare in a month. Most of them are mothers with their children. I envy you so much, Qiantong, you actually met a big client Tilder. Har har, I'm just lucky Tilder. After Gao Jun added WeChat and agreed, Chen Qiantong immediately reported her name. Hello, sir, I am Chen Qiantong from Balabalar Clothing Store. I will take more new clothes for you in the future Tilder. At the same time, Gao Ingyin was jumping with joy. After all, she bought so many clothes today, and she can wear them to show Teacher Jiang. Dad, why don't you send a message to Teacher Jiang? I want to wear new clothes and play with her Tilder. But Gao Jun said, Ingyin, your mother will take you out to play tomorrow. Besides, Teacher Jiang also needs her own rest time, you can't always pester her. When Gao Ingyin heard this, her little face suddenly darkened, she pouted aggrievedly, and said with little pearls in her eyes, I don't want it. I don't want to see my mother. Chapter 10 I wonder how long you can keep pretending. No, when I separated from your mother, we had already agreed to meet once a week. We can't go back on our word. Otherwise, Ingyin may not be able to live with her father. Gao Jun explained. Hearing this, Gao Ingyin looked embarrassed, her mouth pursed with grievance. Then can I just meet once and leave? That depends on the agreement between you and your mother. Gao Jun replied. Okay. Gao Ingyin, who was originally immersed in the joy of new clothes, felt sad when she thought about meeting Ji Yufeier tomorrow. Since she could remember, in Gao Ingyin's impression, Ji Yufeier didn't like her. Sometimes it was just a mother's duty. But Dad was different. Gao Ingyin knew very well who loved her. So she decided to meet Ji Yufeier and leave early tomorrow morning. The next morning, Gao Jun took Gao Ingyin to the express station. Uncle Chen. When Chen Haoran saw Gao Ingyin jumping over, he was surprised. Oh, Ingyin is here. As he said that, Chen Haoran rubbed her face. Your little face is too soft, like flour. Oh, Uncle Chen, you are going to rub my face into cotton. Gao Ingyin pouted and frowned. Chen Haoran immediately let go of his hand and smiled. Sorry, Ingyin, come here, I'll give you a snack. As he said that, he took out a snack from the store. Gao Ingyin's eyes lit up immediately. Wow! Tilder egg tarts. She immediately sat on the small stool and enjoyed the food beautifully. Chen Haoran looked at Gao Jun and said, Brother Jun, you can sort the parcels in the store today, and I will go out to deliver them. You can also look after the child. Gao Jun explained, the child's mother will take her out to play later. There is one visiting day per week. Chen Haoran sighed and said, it is indeed troublesome. You two are divorced, and you have to see her every once in a while. It is really disgusting, but for the sake of the child, you have suffered. As he was talking, a pink BMW appeared at the door of the express station. The person who got off the car was Ji Yufeier. When Chen Haoran saw it, he immediately didn't give a good face, and threw a parcel box directly and said, damn, why are there so many broken boxes today? Ji Yufeier listened to this, glanced at him, but didn't pay attention, but came directly to Gao Jun and said, I will send the child back before 5 p.m. Yeah. Gao Jun's expression was also very calm, and he was picking up the parcels beside him. Ji Yufeier looked at them busy in there, and couldn't help but despise them in her heart. A grown man, doing a courier job. How long will it take to afford the BMW she parked outside? At this moment, she was glad that she was divorced. Then Ji Yufeier came to Gao Ingyin with a smile again. Ingyin, mom is here to take you out to play. Gao Ingyin, who was still eating egg tarts, heard Ji Yufeier's voice, and she lost her appetite all of a sudden while enjoying the food. But she still pretended to smile and said, Mom, how can you eat such high-calorie egg tarts? You are a girl, and you should maintain your body shape from childhood. Didn't mom teach you before? Ji Yufeier turned around and looked at Gao Jun and said, can you not give these to your children in the future? Gao Jun seemed to have not heard what she said, and he was packing the express parcels by himself. Ji Yufeier was so angry that she threw away the egg tarts and said to Gao Ingyin, Ingyin, mom will take you to have a healthy breakfast, not these. As she said that, she took Gao Ingyin's hand and left. Before getting in the car, Gao Ingyin pouted and looked at Gao Jun. Gao Jun just smiled and made a phone call gesture. This was their previous agreement. If Ji Yufei was mean to her or wanted to go home, she could call him at any time with her Shaoshinkai Kai watch. Gao Jun would pick Gao Ingyin up at that time. Gao Ingyin nodded and got in the car. Ji Yufei glanced at Gao Jun with contempt on her face and stepped on the accelerator to leave the express station. After the car left, Chen Haran complained, "It's just a broken BMW, a low-end version of the 3 Series. Brother Jun, don't worry, when our express station becomes bigger and stronger, we will buy her a Porsche to show her. There is no need to compare these things. Material abundance cannot fill the emptiness in some people's hearts. Let's live our own lives well. Don't compare with others, but with ourselves yesterday." Gao Jun said happily. After hearing this, Chen Haran gave a thumbs up. "You still have a good attitude. Jun brother, you need this kind of mentality to make a lot of money. I believe you will definitely be able to make a comeback." "Har har, I hope so." In the BMW, Ji Yufei drove while asking Gao Ingyin, "Ingyin, have you missed your mother these days?" Gao Ingyin listened and played with her toys in silence. She didn't know how to answer. Seeing her expression, Ji Yufei knew that she owed the child, so she asked with concern, "How have you been these days? Is Dad treating you well? If not, tell Mom and Mom can take you." "I'm doing well, Dad loves me very much," Gao Ingyin explained immediately. She didn't want to leave her father and didn't want to live with her mother. Seeing her answer so anxiously, Ji Yufei felt a little disappointed. But she also knew that she had not given much maternal love before. Fortunately, it was not too late now, so Ji Yufei hurriedly said, "Ingyin, Mom will take you to buy clothes. Dad bought me new clothes yesterday." Gao Ingyin immediately pointed to her coat and said, "This is what Dad bought." It happened that the traffic light across the street was red, so Ji Yufei looked at the coat on Gao Ingyin. "This is, blah blah." Ji Yufei did not expect Gao Jun to take the child to a famous children's clothing store to buy clothes. "You didn't treat Ingyin badly, otherwise, I would definitely go to the court to get the custody back." Then Ji Yufei continued, "Dad only bought you 1 coat, and Mom will buy you 2 more. Dad bought me 7 or 8 clothes yesterday." Gao Ingyin explained. 7 or 8. Ji Yufei just started the car and almost stepped on the accelerator in surprise. Gao Ingyin nodded, "Yes. Did you go to other stores to buy?" "No, I went to the same store and spent a lot of money yesterday. I didn't want to buy anything, waste of money," Gao Ingyin muttered. Ji Yufei was obviously a little shocked. 7 or 8 pieces of clothing, according to the average price of Balabalar clothing store, at least 3 or 4,000. Where did her ex-husband get the money? Delivering a courier, it's good enough to make a living in a big city like Magic City. You still spend a few thousand to buy clothes for your daughter? You are pretending to be rich, I wonder how long you can keep pretending. So she drove the car to the Mixi Mall. "Ingyin, Mommy will take you to eat sushi. The sushi here is delicious. Your dad will definitely not take you to such a place," Ji Yufei reminded. Gao Ingyin frowned upon hearing this and shook her head softly, saying, "My father brought me here to eat yesterday." "Here? Are you sure?" "The first conveyor belt sushi restaurant." Ji Yufei was obviously incredulous. "You know, this conveyor belt sushi restaurant is one of the most famous restaurants in the Fanhua district of Shanghai. The average price per person is hundreds or thousands of yuan. Even if an adult and a child go to this restaurant, the child will not be full for less than 1,000 yuan. Gao Jun actually brought his daughter here for a big meal?" Chapter 11 Teacher Jiang, I think you are my mother. Ji Yufei sorted out her thoughts at once. It is very likely that Gao Jun saw that she was going to take her daughter out to play today, so he took the child to eat a big meal and buy clothes 1 day in advance, in order to show that he took good care of his daughter. To maintain his pitiful self-esteem. Thinking of this, Ji Yufei became even more contemptuous. So that's the case. It is estimated that he spent more than half a month's salary last night. I wonder how he will live next. Ji Yufei said to herself. Then, she said to Gao Ingyin, "Ingyin, you probably didn't eat the signature dishes of this restaurant yesterday. Mom will take you there again." Don't worry, you can order whatever you want this time. Don't worry. As she said, Ji Yufei took out her mobile phone to scan the code and place an order. Ing, this sashimi is good, this salmon sushi is also okay, or we can add noodles. Gao Ing watched her operation and sighed softly. She said she wanted to order food, but the phone was never passed to her. But Gao Ing got used to it. Over the years, it was her father who had been taking care of her, and the mother in front of her cared more about her sisters and her career. She didn't care about herself and her father at all. So when she divorced her father, Gao Ing was happy for her father from the bottom of her heart. Gao Ing looked at her watch and wanted her father to pick her up. Ji Yufei saw that she was in a daze, and then she realized that she had not asked her daughter's opinion just now, so she hurriedly asked, Ing, what do you want to eat? Come on, order it. No, Mom, just follow your order. Gao Ing replied. Sorry, Ing, Mom thought that you must not have eaten the signature of this restaurant when you came here to eat yesterday, so Mom took the initiative to order some. Ji Yufei explained. But Gao Ing shook her head. Mom, you just ordered better, I ate it all yesterday. You ate it all yesterday. Ji Yufei looked at the prices on the menu and still couldn't believe it, all of these were ordered. Yeah. This made Ji Yufei even more angry. Just to show off in front of her once, he had to eat and spend half a month's salary. What about his daughter's life? Where does Dad get so much money? Ji Yufei frowned. Gao Ing explained, Dad told me that he has money, so don't worry. Ji Yufei suppressed her anger, thinking that she must expose this hypocritical man in person someday. Let her daughter see that her so-called good father is actually a scumbag who is pretending to be rich. Come on, Ing, let's eat, and then go buy clothes. Gao Ing acted according to Ji Yufei's ideas for the next half day. She had to open her mouth to accept what she wanted to eat. She had to try one piece after another to wear what she wanted. From beginning to end, Ji Yufei never asked her what she wanted. This made Gao Ing unhappy at all. But she didn't dare to have emotions. She wanted to make Ji Yufei feel happy, only in this way would Ji Yufei not cause trouble for her father. Time passed by minute. Soon, it was afternoon. Ing, why don't you go back tonight and sleep with your mother tonight? Ji Yufei suggested. Gao Ing pursed her lips and wanted to refuse. She didn't like being with her mother, she just wanted to be with her father. Just when she didn't know how to answer, a pretty figure appeared. Gao Ing seemed to have grabbed a life-saving straw and hurriedly shouted, Teacher Jiang! Teacher Jiang! At this time, Jiang Yilan was walking towards the escalator of the shopping mall, and suddenly heard a familiar voice. Turning around, she saw Gao Ing running towards her. Ing. Jiang Yilan was a little surprised. She hurried forward and asked, Why are you here? My mother and I are here to go shopping. Gao Ing said, pointing to Ji Yufei who was walking behind her. Ji Yufei looked and asked tentatively, Is this Teacher Jiang? Yes, Ing's mother. Hello, I am Ing's kindergarten teacher. Jiang Yilan raised her head and looked at Ji Yufei. Jiang Yilan had heard Gao Ing say that her mother was very beautiful before. Now, she is indeed charming and looks like an urban beauty. Ji Yufei looked at Jiang Yilan in front of her, wearing simple and comfortable clothes, loose t-shirt, jeans and sneakers. But even with such ordinary clothes, combined with her beautiful face, she exudes the youth and vitality she once had. Is Teacher Jiang also here to shop? Ji Yufei asked. Jiang Yilan smiled and nodded, Yes, I happen to be free today on the weekend. Then Ing, let's not disturb the teacher, let's go first. Ji Yufei reminded. Gao Ing immediately frowned, looked at Jiang Yilan with pitiful eyes and said, Teacher Jiang, I still don't know the questions you taught me yesterday. How about I go to your house and you can help me tilde? Ji Yufei knew Gao Ing's thoughts when she heard it, so she interrupted and said, Ing, the teacher rarely rests on weekends, you can go to the teacher on Monday. But the teacher taught us that we should ask questions in time if we don't know the questions. Gao Ing pursed her lips and still looked at Jiang Yilan, wanting to make a final effort. Seeing this, Jiang Yilan had no choice but to say, It's okay. If Ing's mother trusts me, let me take her back and teach her yesterday's questions. I guess yesterday's edition is a bit difficult, so I just need to tutor her. You can pick her up then. Well. Ji Fei thought for a while and said, I guess her father will pick her up then. Okay, it's okay. I can contact Yingying's father then tilde. Then I'll leave it to you, teacher. Gao Yingying immediately took Jiang Yilan's hand and waved goodbye to Ji Fei. Goodbye, mom, tilde. As she said that, she took Jiang Yilan and trotted all their way. Ji Fei was a little angry when she saw her daughter deliberately alienating herself. Gao Jun. If I know that you made my daughter alienate me, you'll be dead. As she said that, she turned and left. Gao Yingying took Jiang Yilan out of the mall. Jiang Yilan panted and stopped them, saying, Yingying, stop, stop. Gao Yingying saw that her mother's voice was no longer behind her, so she slowed down her pace, panting and grinning, Teacher Jiang, we've left our mother behind. Jiang Yilan put her hands on her waist and asked in a serious teacher's tone, What's wrong with you? What's wrong? Teacher Jiang. Gao Yingying laughed. You got all the questions right yesterday, why did you lie? Jiang Yilan asked with a frown. Gao Yingying immediately pouted in grievance, Teacher Jiang, I don't want to stay with my mother, so I want you to take me away. Jiang Yilan had a headache when she heard this. Gao Yingying didn't like her mother, she knew it a long time ago. But as a teacher, she couldn't let Gao Yingying have such thoughts and emotions, so she tried to correct it. Can you tell me why you don't like your mother? I don't know, anyway, she doesn't care about me, never asks me what I like to eat, and always tells me that I am very unhappy when I stay with her. Gao Yingying explained in a low voice. Jiang Yilan knew that she was really wronged, so she hugged her and said, Okay, then the teacher will take you back to your father, okay. Good. Tilde, Gao Yingying said happily, I'll ask my dad to treat the teacher to a big meal. Tilde. Jiang Yilan smiled slightly and then called Gao Jun. Hello, Yingying's dad, this is Teacher Jiang. I'm with Yingying now. Where are you now? I'll take the child to you. Gao Jun was puzzled after hearing this. Why is his daughter with Teacher Jiang? After learning the whole story, he immediately sent the address to Jiang Yilan. Soon, Jiang Yilan appeared at the door of the express station with Gao Yingying. Gao Jun looked at the little one in front of him, put his hands on his waist and complained, You really make people worry. Gao Yingying laughed, Dad, I'm back. As she said, she rushed forward and threw herself into Gao Jun's arms. Look at my beard attack. Ar ha ha ha, itchy. Tilde bad dad. Tilde. Jiang Yilan looked at the father and daughter making such a funny scene and laughed with relief. Then Gao Jun stood up and said to Jiang Yilan, Teacher Jiang, I'm sorry to bother you. It's okay, I just happened to pass by. Jiang Yilan explained. Dad, why don't you treat Teacher Jiang to a meal? Gao Yingying insisted on the side. Seeing this, Gao Jun had to smile awkwardly, Teacher Jiang, see when you are free. You take care of Yingying so much, I should treat you to a meal. Thank you, Yingying's father, you don't have to be polite. Jiang Yilan smiled and said, But I happen to be a little hungry, why not choose a day to do it? Tilde. Okay, Howren, I'll go out for a meal first, and bring you something delicious later. Gao Jun turned around and shouted. Chen Howren came out from the inner room at this time, Okay, I want pig's trotters. As soon as he looked up, he saw a young and beautiful woman standing next to Gao Jun. Chen Howren's eyes widened. WTF? Where did this girl come from? She's so beautiful. Chapter 12 A Happy Family of 3. Gao Jun took Gao Yingying and Jiang Yilan away. Chen Howren was left alone in the courier shop, doubting his life. He just got divorced, and now a younger and prettier girl follows him. No wonder Jun got out of the shadow of divorce so quickly, it turns out he has a new lover. As a childhood friend, Chen Howren was naturally happy for Gao Jun when he saw him suddenly come to his senses. At the same time, Gao Jun chose a restaurant. Welcome, how many people are there? The waiter saw Gao Jun and others come in and hurriedly stepped forward and asked with a smile. 3. Okay, please come this way. The waiter took them all their way to the window seat. When ordering, the waiter also reminded, there will be a lucky draw in our restaurant tonight, and it is very likely that you will get a free meal. I hope you will be lucky enough to win. Har har, thank you, I hope so. Gao Jun took the menu and handed it to Jiang Yilan and said, Teacher Jiang, what do you want to eat? Jiang Yilan smiled and said, I can eat anything, why don't you let Ingyin order? Oh, you guys are so naughty tilde, I'll do it tilde, Gao Ingyin said in a deep look, let me see what's delicious tilde. Seeing this, the waiter joked, the little girl is so cute, tilde. Soon, the dishes were ordered. While waiting, Gao Ingyin rolled her eyes and suggested, Dad, Teacher Jiang, how about we play a game? Jiang Yilan smiled and said, okay, what to play? Rock, paper, scissors. Gao Ingyin said as she took out a fist and roared at her mouth, I'm really good at this tilde, Dad, don't you think so? Gao Jun laughed, of course, you're a boxing champion. Come on, the three of us will play rock, paper, scissors. Gao Jun and Jiang Yilan also stretched out their hands to cooperate with the little guy. Gao Ingyin stared at the gestures they made with her eyes wide open, then pursed her lips and said disappointedly, I lost. Gao Ingyin played scissors, while Gao Jun and Jiang Yilan played rock. Gao Jun laughed and teased, oh, the boxing champion lost. Humph. Gao Ingyin made a face at him, stinky dad, you may not win. As she said that, she looked at Jiang Yilan, Teacher Jiang. Beat dad. Jiang Yilan didn't know whether to laugh or cry, and looked at Gao Jun. Gao Jun laughed and said, Teacher Jiang, it seems that Ingyin will not give up until we decide the winner. Listen to my command. Tilde rock, paper, scissors. The next second, Jiang Yilan stretched out a fist. Gao Ingyin immediately looked at Gao Jun, and coincidentally, her father also made a fist. Har, you two are the same. Tilde, come on. Gao Ingyin was excited beside her. Jiang Yilan also became interested at this time, and she played paper in the next round. Who would have thought that Gao Jun had the same idea? Gao Ingyin saw the same gesture again, and she said more happily, hurry up, keep going. Dad, Teacher Jiang, come on. Jiang Yilan didn't know whether to laugh or cry at this coincidence. Gao Jun suggested, Teacher Jiang, let's make a quick decision. Okay. So, the two of them went faster. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. They played for times in a row, all the same. Gao Ingyin was surprised, Dad, Teacher Jiang, you two really have a tacit understanding. You, girl, you even know the word tacit understanding. Gao Jun teased. Jiang Yilan smiled with her lips pursed. Because the word tacit understanding happened to be the idiom she taught Gao Ingyin 2 days ago. Just when they were about to start the 5th round of competition, the dishes were served. The waiter who came to serve the dishes was the same waitress. Seeing the three of them having fun, she enviously said, your daughter is beautiful and will be very happy when she grows up. Gao Jun was a little embarrassed and hesitated after hearing this. Jiang Yilan just smiled slightly, covering up the embarrassment between them. This made Gao Ingyin happy. Seeing that both adults were embarrassed, she took the initiative to ask the waiter, sister, can you take a photo for us? Okay tilde, the waiter nodded. Gao Ingyin immediately looked at Gao Jun and said, Dad, mobile phone. Gao Jun was worried that Jiang Yilan would be embarrassed and wanted to refuse, so he said, Dad's mobile phone has poor pixels, so I won't take a photo. Jiang Yilan didn't want to spoil the child's fun, so she smiled and said, why don't you use mine? Gao Jun saw that Jiang Yilan didn't care, so he nodded in agreement. Why don't you all sit aside, the waiter suggested. Gao Ingyin waved her hand at this time, Dad, come over and sit with us. So Gao Jun came to Gao Ingyin. In this way, Gao Jun and Jiang Yilan sat next to Gao Ingyin on a bench. The waiter took the mobile phone, found a good angle, and reminded, come on, 3, 2, 1 tilde. Not long after, a photo was taken. Gao Ingyin immediately thanked, thank you, sister, tilde. Then, she looked at the photo. In the photo, she was smiling happily. Holding Jiang Yilan's hand with her left hand, and resting Gao Jun's arm with her right hand. And Gao Jun and Jiang Yilan were also smiling. From this photo, anyone would think that this was a happy couple of 3. Okay, Ingyin, return the phone to Teacher Jiang, we have to eat. Gao Jun reminded. Gao Ingyin was obedient. After returning the phone to Jiang Yilan, she ate seriously. She was so happy eating. During this process, Gao Jun picked up some vegetables for Gao Ingyin. Come, eat some vegetables. Thank you, Dad. Jiang Yilan also picked up some meat slices for Gao Ingyin. Eat some meat, grow up quickly. Thank you, Teacher Jiang. Originally, Gao Jun thought that the little guy should be quiet, but unexpectedly, Gao Ingyin pointed to the farthest dish and said, Dad, why don't you pick up a portion of that dish for Teacher Jiang? It's too far, Teacher Jiang can't pick it up. Jiang Yilan was stunned for a moment, she hesitated and smiled awkwardly. Teacher Jiang, you want to eat that carrot too, right, Tilda? Gao Ingyin said, then turned to Gao Jun and blinked hard. Seeing this, Jiang Yilan was amused by the little girl. Gao Jun also looked at Jiang Yilan with a smile, trying his best to cooperate with the girl's performance. Teacher Jiang, come, eat carrots. Thank you, Tilda. Jiang Yilan tasted the carrots picked up by Gao Jun. Gao Ingyin asked curiously, Teacher Jiang, is this carrot sweet? Yes, it's very sweet. That's good, Tilda. Gao Ingyin continued to eat. Jiang Yilan looked at Gao Jun with her peripheral vision, but she didn't quite understand. Why did Ingyin's mother want to divorce him? During this semester in kindergarten, she found that Gao Jun was definitely much better than many fathers in terms of taking care of children. If Ingyin's father was a few years younger, perhaps many girls would like him. Just when she was distracted, Gao Jun's cell phone rang. Gao Jun picked up the phone and took a look. He frowned immediately. It was Liang Yarqi calling. Chapter 13. Can you hug me? Gao Jun didn't know why Liang Yarqi called at this time. He didn't want to know. So he just hung up. Then after a while, the cell phone rang again. Gao Jun knew that it was her calling again. He hung up the phone again. Jiang Yilan noticed Gao Jun's expression at this time, and asked tentatively, Ingyin's father, is there something urgent? Nothing. Gao Jun shook his head. If you have something urgent, you can go first, and I can send Ingyin home later. Jiang Yilan suggested. Hearing this, Gao Jun thought of Liang Yarqi getting drunk in the cinema last time, and he didn't know what would go wrong this time, so he had to say, then, Teacher Jiang, I will send you my home address, and Ingyin has the key to the house. I will go out for a while and come back soon. Okay. Jiang Yilan nodded. Ingyin's father, don't worry. Gao Ingyin also reminded, Dad, be careful. Okay. Before leaving, Gao Jun paid the bill for this meal. After leaving the restaurant, he called Liang Yarqi. What a troublemaker. In fact, Gao Jun could have ignored her. But when I think of this woman's current mental state, if she can't get over it, it's all over. I'll help you one last time. If I answer your call next time, I will. Just thinking about it, the phone was answered. Soon, Liang Yarqi's voice came. Har, you called back, Tilda. Liang Yarqi was laughing happily on the phone. Gao Jun. Are you sick? He complained directly. What's the matter, tell me. I'm alone on the beach now, listen to the sound of the waves. Gao Jun listened to Liang Yarqi's phone and there were indeed waves of waves. He immediately asked, why are you going to the beach? It's late at night, do you want to die? Liang Yarqi held the phone and looked at the beach in front of her. There was no starlight in the sky, and the moon hid in the clouds, not daring to face the dark night. She didn't know if the scene in front of her was a portrayal of her life. Psycho. Gao Jun cursed first, then asked, where? On the beach of the seaside park. After Gao Jun learned the address, he hung up the phone. On the other end, Liang Yarqi saw him hang up the phone, looked at the phone screen, and muttered, why did you hang up? As she spoke, she continued to pick up the bottle of wine beside her and started drinking. Perhaps it was her proud figure and the fact that there was no one around. Some boys who came here to get some fresh air had thoughts. Little sister, drinking here alone, are you so lonely? A middle-aged man in his 30s walked up to Liang Yarqi and grinned. Liang Yarqi raised her head and looked at the greasy and wretched face, but did not talk to him. But this middle-aged man obviously did not want to miss this good opportunity. After all, there were not many people around here. Once the woman in front of him was drunk, he could just carry her to the bushes behind him to pick up her body. Hey, little sister, don't be shy. If you have any worries, tell your brother Tilder. As he said that, the greasy man sat down and began to lean on Liang Yarki. Liang Yarki was calm throughout the whole process. She looked at her phone and muttered, "It should be here soon." The greasy man was a little confused. What is coming soon? As he was talking, Gao Jun's voice came from behind, "If you don't leave now, the police will be here soon." As soon as these words came out, the greasy man was scared to death. He looked back and saw that the other party was a young man who was looking at him seriously. He immediately stepped back awkwardly and smiled, "Sorry, sorry." After saying that, he turned around and ran away. Gao Jun looked at the figure in front of him, looming in the weak moonlight, looking particularly thin and helpless. He came to Liang Yarki's side and sat down. Her hair fluttered gently in the wind, her face was expressionless, only her hollow eyes flickered faintly in the darkness, like a doll that had lost its soul. She sat quietly on the beach, staring at the dark sea in front of her, as if she was looking for something, but she didn't know what she was looking for. Her hands rested weakly on the beach, and fine sand slipped through her fingers. It must be said that from Liang Yarki's current state, she sat alone on this dark beach, and her soulless look made people feel distressed. But what does this have to do with him? Gao Jun had to persuade her again, "This is the last time I persuade you, and the last time I help you. Let go of the past and start over. Don't you even have the courage to divorce?" At this time, Liang Yarki turned her head and looked at Gao Jun. Gao Jun saw that her face was flushed, and even the redness had reached the neck behind her ears. He looked down at the beer bottles around him and complained helplessly, "If you can't drink, don't learn to drink. It's easy to get into trouble." Liang Yarki still didn't speak, just looked at him, and then smiled innocently. "I scolded you, why didn't you talk back?" Liang Yarki shook her head at this time, and finally said, "I think you are caring about me, I want to listen." Gao Jun was speechless. This woman was really sick. "This is the last time I will send you back. If you have any problems in the future, you can find your husband. I am not your husband and have no obligation to do so." After that, Gao Jun planned to help Liang Yarki up. Liang Yarki's cheeks were flushed, as if she had applied a layer of light rouge, and the curve of her mouth was slightly stiff, as if she was trying to maintain a smiling expression. "I told him that I went back to my parents' home. We haven't seen each other for more than a week. Where do you live now?" Gao Jun frowned. He would never take this woman in. "I'm staying at a hotel. I brought my ID card." Liang Yarki took out her ID card from her bag and showed it off in front of Gao Jun. "I'm smart, right?" "Har har." Gao Jun replied perfunctorily. Fortunately, Liang Yarki was still sober this time, so Gao Jun didn't carry her all the way from the beach to the park entrance. On their way to the parking lot, Liang Yarki suddenly asked, "Gao Jun, do you have any regrets?" "My regret is that I shouldn't have been soft-hearted and called you just now," Gao Jun said speechlessly. "I think the biggest regret in life is that the love is separated by mountains and seas, and mountains and seas cannot be leveled. Later, I realized that there are boats to cross the sea and roads to walk on the mountains. Mountains and seas can be leveled, but what is difficult to level is the human heart." Liang Yarki did not answer Gao Jun's words, but talked to herself. Gao Jun explained, "In fact, you are now trapped in a vicious circle and have not walked out. The reason why we are human beings is that the word human has two strokes. The first stroke describes the first half of life, which is persistence, and the second stroke describes the second half of life, which is letting go. What we need to do is to have mountains and rivers in our hearts without being artificial, not arguing about the right and wrong of the near, and stop, look and follow the wind, walk, look and be calm, do not think about the past, and do not fear the future. What you need to do now is to be decisive and let go, to divorce decisively and let go of the past, understand?" After Gao Jun said this, he looked at Liang Yarki and found that she was stunned. I don't know if she listened to it. If you don't listen, forget it. It's hard to persuade the damn ghost with good words. Sure enough, Liang Yarki's brain circuit is unusual. She raised her head, looked at Gao Jun's face, and suddenly said, "Gao Jun, I haven't experienced what it feels like to hug for a long time. Can you hug me? It's sick." Chapter 14 Successfully Embraced. Ill. This is Gao Jun's intuitive feeling about Liang Yarki. And he is still very ill. Liang Yarki didn't get angry when she heard Gao Jun scolding her. Instead, she raised her eyebrows, smiled foolishly with a slightly drunk face, and just kept looking at him. Gao Jun even suspected that she was a masochist. Seeing that she was still looking at him, he flatly refused. No way, get in the car quickly. As he said that, he opened the car door and forced Liang Yarki to get in. After getting in the car, Gao Jun turned on the navigation and asked for the address. Where is the hotel? Come to the hotel tomorrow. Liang Yarki looked out the window again. As for driving, Gao Jun was the one who came. Gao Jun entered the address, confirmed the navigation, and then stepped on the accelerator and drove towards the hotel. Got off the car. Gao Jun supported Liang Yarki and came to the elevator entrance in the lobby. When the elevator door opened, there happened to be two boys following behind me. Liang Yarki wanted to lean on Gao Jun, but he said, "Wake up, stand still, don't get close to me, don't try to touch me." As soon as these words came out, the two young men behind him widened their eyes. The woman in front of me was wearing high heels, and her tall figure was in full view. Their hip-to-waist ratio is enough to make any boy fantasize. And from the appearance of the woman I observed when she entered the elevator just now, she had a delicate face. A gorgeous woman indeed. But this man actually said, "Don't get close to me." This made the two young men look at each other in bewilderment. Sure enough, behind every beautiful woman, there is a. Gao Jun naturally ignored other people's opinions. Now he just wanted to quickly send Liang Yarki to the room and then turn around and leave. We have arrived at the 13th floor. Gao Jun took Liang Yarki out of the elevator. Give me the room card. After finding the room, Gao Jun asked her to take out the room card. Liang Yarki was searching in her bag, mumbling, "Where is it?" Then, she simply handed the bag to Gao Jun with a silly smile. "You look for it." Gao Jun had no choice but to rummage through his bag. There was nothing in the bag, just a lipstick, an ID card and a cell phone. He flipped through it and found the room card from the inner layer. At the same time, Gao Jun also saw a movie ticket. Looking at the date on this movie ticket, it seems to be the last time Liang Yarki went to the cinema to drink. Thinking of this, Gao Jun also sighed. After all, I have traveled through time and space, so I can easily let go of my original past. But Liang Yak is different. She has loved him since college. Now Liang Yarki's husband is having an affair with his ex-wife. Gao Jun chose to cut the Gordian knot and decisively divorced Jiu Feier. But for Liang Yak, both the sunk cost of time and the previous energy are inseparable. Thinking of this, Gao Jun finally softened his heart. He helped Liang Yarki open the door, then turned around and looked at her and said, "Okay, go in quickly, I'm leaving first." After saying that, Gao Jun prepared to leave. Liang Yarki thanked her at this time, "Thank you." Then he staggered into the room. But she didn't close the door. Instead, she stood stupidly by the door, looking at herself with a smile. Gao Jun looked at her condition and worried about what might happen to this woman after he left. "Forget it, I'll boil some hot water for you before you leave, otherwise I'm afraid you don't know how to boil it." Gao Jun walked in. This is a 5-star hotel and the interior design of the rooms is absolutely top-notch. Gao Jun looked around, then picked up the kettle, filled it with water, plugged it in, and started boiling water. During this time, Liang Yak went into the bathroom. Gao Jun saw that the water was ready. After pouring a glass of water, he looked towards the bathroom and said, "The water is ready. Remember to drink it. After drinking it, you can take a shower when you are sober." After saying this, he prepared to leave. But there was no voice of Liang Yarki coming from the bathroom. "Did you hear that?" He knocked on the bathroom door. "Where are the people?" Gao Jun saw that no one responded from inside and became worried for a moment. He subconsciously turned the door and found that it was not locked. So Gao Jun said in advance, "If you don't say anything, I will come in." Open the door. All I could hear was water running from the faucet in the sink, and the water had even spread from the countertop to the floor. Liang Yarki sat on the ground, hugged her knees and lowered her head. Seeing this, Gao Jun immediately turned off the faucet and then picked her up. Seeing Liang Yarki soaking wet, he asked, "What are you doing?" At this time, Liang Yarki raised her head, with undried tear marks on her cheeks, like a flower eroded by wind and rain. Gao Jun looked at her pitiful appearance and comforted her, "I hope you can be fine and come out bravely." This time, Liang Yarki finally spoke. She answered with a weak and trembling voice, okay. Where are your clothes? I'll get them for you to change. After you change, drink a cup of hot water and wrap yourself in a blanket. Don't take a shower yet. Liang Yarki raised her slender hand and pointed in the direction of the bed, saying, there is a suitcase over there, with a loose top on the top. Good. Gao Jun then turned around, walked to the bed, and saw the suitcase. As soon as I opened it, a big red bra appeared in front of me. Gao Jun was calm, but he still took another look out of curiosity. Based on the feel over the years, it's probably a D. Soon, he took a top and a skirt and came to the bathroom door. Change it quickly, it's all wet. Good. Close the door. After a while, Liang Yarki opened the door again. Compared to the sexy young woman in the tight skirt just now, she now has a more youthful look. The top she wore was loose and casual, like a blooming lily, gently draped over her shoulders. The short skirt shows off her long legs. Liang Yarki's cheeks were flushed, there was a hazy light flashing in her eyes, and a lazy smile hung at the corner of her mouth. She tilted her head and smiled, hold me for a while before you leave, okay. After hearing this request, Gao Jun finally softened his heart, took a step forward and gave her a gentle hug. Liang Yarki also leaned on him contentedly. The moment Gao Jun hugged him, he immediately realized something. She is a vacuum. To prevent the gun from going off accidentally, he left the room. After Gao Jun left, Liang Yarki walked out of the bathroom and looked at the cup of steaming hot water on the table. After taking a small sip, my heart couldn't help but warm up. Gao Jun left the hotel and rushed back home. As soon as he opened the door, he saw Gao Ingyin snuggling in Jiang Yilan's arms. The two watched TV nervously. I didn't even know Gao Jun was back. Seeing how engrossed they were, Gao Jun said, Ingyin, I'm back. As soon as these words were uttered, the two women, one big and one small, screamed in fear. This also scared Gao Jun. Gao Ingyin complained, Dad. You scared us to death, we were watching a horror movie. Gao Jun didn't know whether to laugh or cry, you guys are still watching horror movies. Besides, you are the one who is timid. Look at teacher Jiang. She's not afraid. But when I looked at Jiang Yilan, I found that her face was also flushed and she was breathing heavily. Jiang Yilan felt embarrassed after hearing what Gao Jun said. In fact, she was also very timid, but she couldn't resist Gao Ingyin's desire to watch a horror movie, so she chose to watch it with her. Now when Gao Jun opened the door, she was startled. Teacher Jiang, I'm sorry to bother you. Gao Jun said embarrassedly. It's okay. After all, I also like being with Ingyin. Jiang Yilan said with a smile. Gao Junzer suggested, it's getting late, how about I take you back, teacher Jiang? No, I can go back by myself. After all, Ingyin is alone at home. Jiang Yilan explained. Gao Ingyin rolled her eyes and immediately said, Teacher Jiang, I'm often alone at home. It's okay. Let my dad take you there. It's not safe on the road. Jiang Yilan didn't know whether to laugh or cry, so she had to say, in that case, I'll trouble Ingyin's father. Before Gao Jun and Jiang Yilan left, he and Gao Ingyin reminded them, Dad will be back soon. If you have anything, use your phone watch to call me. Don't worry. Gao Ingyin then made a cheering gesture and whispered, Come on, Dad. Gao Jun frowned, looked like he was giving a lecture, and then left. After her father and teacher Jiang left, Gao Ingyin sighed and said to herself, Dad, Ingyin's mission has been completed. It's up to you now. Chapter 15 What does it taste like to be a man? Teacher Jiang, I'm so sorry to have troubled you tonight. After Gao Jun walked out of the community, he apologized to Jiang Yilan. Jiang Yilan smiled and replied, It's okay. Then she thought of something and said to Gao Jun excitedly, By the way, the restaurant held a lucky draw tonight and our table got a free meal. Gao Jun was a little surprised, so lucky. Yes, I didn't expect so many customers at that time. One of the waiters actually drew our table's number. The waiter returned the money for tonight's meal to me. I'm returning it to you now. As Jiang Yilan spoke, she took out her cell phone and planned to transfer tonight's money back to Gao Jun. Gao Junzer smiled and said, No need. Teacher Jiang promised to treat you to a meal today. Since you are so lucky to get a free meal, I will give you the money. Jiang Yilan hesitated for a moment, and finally said, then next time, if Ying wants to have a big meal, I will treat you and Ying to a meal. Okay, it's settled then. Just at this moment, a Didi car arrived. Jiang Yilan was afraid of troubling Gao Jun, so she said, how about Ying's father just send her to me? I can go back quickly by car. It's okay, I've already sent you here. After all, before I left, I promised Ying that I would definitely send you home. Gao Jun explained. Jiang Yilan was also very happy to hear this. This is enough to show that Gao Ying has always occupied a very important position in his heart, and Gao Jun will remember everything she says. I believe that under Gao Jun's training, the impact of Ying's single-parent family will not be that great. At least she thinks Ying's father is an excellent father. So the two of them got in the car. The journey is not far, only about 10 minutes. Originally, Jiang Yilan thought that the two of them would remain silent for the rest of the journey until they got off the car. I didn't expect that Gao Jun and her would have such a tacit understanding when they talked to each other one after another. The topic started from Ying, then slowly turned to tonight's dinner, and then to each other's favorite foods. Do you like durian? Gao Jun asked. Jiang Yilan smiled and shook her head, not really, I can't accept the taste. The Didi driver interrupted directly, hey, you don't like durian? As the saying goes, one durian is worth 10 chickens. Young man, you should eat durian, it's good for your kidneys. It will make your girlfriend better. Hearing this, Jiang Yilan also laughed embarrassedly. Gao Jun's a joke to himself, brother, I am almost 30 years old. I am no longer considered a young person. Being almost 30 is nothing. I'm almost 60. I also go to the gym regularly to work out. If I wasn't driving, I would definitely show off my muscles. The driver said confidently. Gao Jun also followed his words and said, I also plan to go to the gym, brother, do you have any recommendations? All gyms are actually the same. The most important thing is your self-discipline, the driver explained. At this time, Jiang Yilan asked curiously, is Ying's father going to the gym? Yes, that's right. Although I'm approaching middle age, I still have to pay attention to my health. I've been running every day recently and I feel much more energetic. Gao Jun replied. The driver then noticed that the two people did not seem to be a couple. He smiled awkwardly and said, I thought you two were a couple just now. Gao Junzer explained with an awkward smile, no. Jiang Yilan also felt embarrassed. Tonight it seemed that many people thought that she and Gao Jun were a couple. Although Ying's father is divorced, I always feel that with his charm, he should be liked by many girls. This is Jiang Yilan's idea. Soon, the car stopped. Jiang Yilan and Gao Jun got out of the car. Jiang Yilan casually asked, Ying's father, do you want to go up and sit for a while? Gao Jun hesitated for a moment, but still declined, it's quite late now, I won't disturb Teacher Jiang. Teacher Jiang, please go to bed early. Okay, goodbye, Ying. Goodbye. Jiang Yilan went upstairs. At this time, Han Yuan was bombarding Jiang Yilan's WeChat. Are you going to stay out all night tonight? Tell me. Did you find some strange man? Don't be silent. If you didn't say anything, I would have thought you were doing something. Wow, what does it feel like to do something? Is it great? As soon as Jiang Yilan opened the door, Han Yuan, who was sitting on the sofa, jumped up immediately. She frowned, crossed her arms and asked, where did you go? Didn't you go shopping today? Why did you come back so late? Go to my student's home. Jiang Yilan explained. Han Yuan immediately came over and smelled the scent on Jiang Yilan's clothes. Jiang Yilan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. What are you doing? I'm smelling whether there is any man scent. Han Yuan said as she continued to smell. Jiang Yilan smiled and hit her. What are you talking about? A student's parent had something to do, so I took care of him for one night. Could it be the single-parent child you mentioned before? Han Yuan asked curiously. Jiang Yilan nodded, so if you can help, just help. It's not a big deal tilde. But. Han Yuan stared with eyes wide open. Why do I feel that your face is a little red? and there is even an uncontrollable smile on the corner of your mouth. Jiang Yilan was startled and said quickly, yes, is there? Yeah, it's like those heroines in the movies with wet cheeks. You want to die? Yuan Yuan. During the play, Jiang Yilan suddenly remembered that Han Yuan Yuan had been to a gym before, so she asked, by the way, how was the gym you went to before? Han Yuan Yuan explained, not bad, what's the matter? Do you want to go? I'm not going there, just send me the name of the gym. As he spoke, Jiang Yilan took out his cell phone. When she saw the WeChat messages Han Yuan Yuan had just sent, her face turned red instantly. Yuan Yuan, you really want to die? Oh, I was wrong, Yilan, I really thought you were going out to do something tonight. Fortunately, you didn't go, otherwise, I would be the only one between the two of us who has not tasted a man. Jiang Yilan. Ying, I'm back. Gao Jun opened the door and shouted towards the inner room. Gao Ying immediately came out of the room and asked excitedly, Dad, did you send teacher Jiang back home? Of course, how dare Daddy not listen to what Ying said? Gao Jun said as he picked up Ying. Gao Ying was very happy, that's good, tonight is the happiest night of my life Dad, please ask teacher Jiang to send you the photo of the three of us tonight. I want to make it into a photo frame. Gao Jun was obviously a little embarrassed. If he put the photo in a frame and placed it at home, people who didn't know the truth would think they were a family of three. He had no choice but to say, Ying, Dad can ask teacher Jiang for that photo, but it can't be framed because it's not good for teacher Jiang's reputation. Sometimes you have to consider teacher Jiang, right? After hearing this, Gao Ying also nodded and agreed, okay, I understand, Dad. That's right, my Ying is so good. Come here, Daddy, give me a kiss. Dad, your beard has grown again. It's so itchy. After the fight, Gao Jun picked up his phone. Jiang Yilan sent herself a message. Jiang Yilan, Ying's father should be home by now, right? My roommate has been to a gym before, called Aida Gym. She said it's a very good gym. Just now when we were in the car, you said you also wanted to go to the gym. You can try this one. Gao Jun immediately replied, thank you, teacher Jiang. Thank you so much. Jiang Yilan, you're welcome then Ying's father should go to bed early. Gao Jun, teacher Jiang, go to bed early. He then put down his phone, lay on the floor, and started doing crunches. If you want to get 4 pack abs in half a month, you have to sweat. But he had experienced the pain of divorce, which was hard for ordinary people to accept. What was this little bit of exercise pain? Gao Jun must find a way to complete this main task, because the reward of this task is directly related to the future quality of life of him and his daughter. Therefore, the important task of training for pack abs in half a month must be accomplished through success and not failure. Chapter 16 Can I see your belly? 6 o'clock in the morning. At this moment, Gao Jun has already gotten up and started doing a new set of sit-ups today. Last night before going to bed, after doing 5 sets of crunches, he felt a burning and tearing sensation in his abdomen. But what surprised him was when he woke up today. Gao Jun suddenly discovered that he was much stronger in the morning. The increase in hardness made him realize that the 1 point he had previously added to his endurance had actually resulted in such a significant improvement. It seems that my body has improved a lot of abilities. After doing 3 sets of sit-ups in a row, Gao Jun went to the bathroom. I looked at my abdomen in the mirror. Currently, there is no abdominal muscle condition. There's not much time left. There are only 12 days left. We have to be ruthless. Then he called Gao Ying to get up. A 6-year-old child is full of energy as soon as he gets up. Chirping non-stop. Gao Jun didn't think this was a worrying thing. Instead, he listened to her with relief. Soon, he sent Gao Ying to kindergarten. After spending last night together, Gao Jun and Jiang Yilan felt less awkward when they met again. Gao Jun greeted with a smile, Good morning, teacher Jiang. Good morning, Ying, Dad. Jiang Yilan heard the voice and turned around to look at the father and daughter. Then, she bent down, touched Gao Ying's head and said, Ying, good morning. Good morning, teacher Jiang. Gao Ying said with a grin. Goodbye, Dad. Okay, goodbye Ying. Soon, Gao Jun left the kindergarten. Although the main task this time has been changed from running to abdominal muscle training, Gao Jun still maintains the habit of running from kindergarten to the express station every day. Back at the express station, he sorted the express deliveries and then started today's delivery work. The express delivery line that Gao Jun is in charge of consists of only a few areas. He originally planned to go to the Aida gym that Jiang Ilan recommended yesterday after get off work. I didn't expect that the address of the express delivery today was in the same building as Aida gym. So Gao Jun planned to go over and take a look when he passed by later. Excluding the expenses of the past few days, he now has about 37,000 yuan in savings. If you look at it from the perspective of ordinary people, spending money on going to the gym with such a small amount of savings is simply crazy. But Gao Jun is different now. As long as you can successfully train for abdominal muscles within half a month, you will get the stock code of 5 consecutive daily limits. Then the money spent on the gym is just a drop in the bucket. He took the express, walked to the door of the building, stopped, and planned to call the courier. As a result, he was bumped by the person behind him. Gao Jun looked back and saw a girl wearing a tight black sports top and dark blue sports leggings frowning and complaining, "Hey, brother, look at the road." As she spoke, she looked up at Gao Jun, and seeing that he was holding an express delivery in his hand, she took the opportunity to walk into the building. Faced with this low-quality woman, Gao Jun glanced at her and continued to wait for the call to be answered. "Hello. Hello, you have a package, do you want to leave it at the front desk?" "Okay." As he spoke, Gao Jun took the express delivery, came to the front desk and put it down. Then he asked the front desk, "Excuse me, which floor is Aida Gymnasium on?" "Third floor." "Thanks." Gao Jun got on the elevator and went to the third floor. On the other side, Shu Ailey was gasping for breath in Aida's gym. She rubbed her feet and complained while sitting at the front desk, "I was almost late." "Har, who told you to get up so late?" Fan Ziyu said with a smile, "What's wrong with your feet?" "Don't mention it. Just now downstairs, a courier stepped on my foot. It hurt so much." Shu Ailey was speechless. Fan Ziyu also echoed her good sister's words and said, "Nowadays, all the couriers are like this, they have no quality, no money, no education, and can only do hard work." "You do not say." As she was speaking, Shu Ailey looked towards the door of the gym and found that the courier who had just bumped into her had come in. "I'm so impressed that I saw him again. Did any one of us buy anything online? Why was it sent to the gym?" Shu Ailey couldn't help but complain a few more words because of the unpleasantness early in the morning. Fan Ziyu looked at Gao Jun, who was looking around at the door. He wanted to just ask him to put the package aside, but he saw that he had nothing in his hands and didn't look like he was delivering a package. As a qualified fitness coach and salesperson, Fan Ziyu asked tentatively, "Hello. How can I help you?" Gao Junzer explained, "It's okay, I just came to take a look." Hearing this, Fan Ziyu turned around and looked at Shu Ailey. At this time, Shu Ailey was holding her mobile phone and sending WeChat messages to her clients. "Brother Ju, what time do we have class today?" This is her VIP client. I once signed up for private fitness classes costing over 10,000 yuan from Shu Ailey. If she completes all these fitness classes, she can directly take away more than 5,000 yuan in commission. When facing this kind of customer, it is natural to build a good relationship with them. While she was waiting for a reply, Fan Ziyu came over and asked, "Hey, Ari Lee, isn't he here to deliver a package? Isn't he here to sign up for a class? How is that possible? I just saw him standing next to the delivery truck downstairs, holding the package in one hand and calling someone to come down to get it with the other hand." Shu Ailey said, obviously still a little angry, "I haven't even settled the score with him yet, is he trying to scam me? Saying that I bumped into him. Don't get excited. Anyway, he hasn't come to deliver the express yet. Just treat him as a potential customer. According to the rotation order, this customer is yours. Do you want him?" Fan Ziyu asked. Shu Ailey shook her head firmly, "A courier can sign up for a fitness class. What a joke. If he is interested in signing up for a class, I will run naked. Hey, Cindy is here. Why don't you give this to her?" Fan Ziyu raised his eyebrows and pointed at Hisini, who had just come out of the locker room. When Shu Ailey heard this, she nodded happily, then waved her hand and said, Cindy Tilder. Cindy tied her ponytail and heard Shu Ailey calling her. As a new colleague in the gym, she had just graduated and had been working for less than 2 months. On the surface, everyone is nice to her, but whenever they meet a high-quality client, they take over everything. As a gym coach, one must rely on commission to make money. Now, I have been receiving the basic salary for 2 consecutive months. She also knows that sometimes her colleagues will even sell their looks, such as taking half-day tours in a car, to maintain the demand for high-quality customers. But she always sticks to her principles and will never go along with the corrupt crowd. Customers come here to exercise, and helping them manage their body is the correct demand. Instead of using fitness as an excuse to do something physical or ask for other services. Because of this, Cindy sometimes hears some female colleagues teasing her about being pretentious and taking herself too seriously. Cindy walked over and asked, "Sister Lee, what's wrong?" "Cindy, don't say that your sister doesn't take care of you. Our gym has the first customer today. Ziyu and I have agreed that we will give this customer to you. You have to treat us to milk tea when the time comes." Shu Ailey then said, pointing at Gao Jun, who was not far away. Cindy looked in the direction she pointed and saw a young man looking at the fitness equipment. It seemed that he was not a regular customer. Although she didn't know whether this customer could successfully sign up for the course, and she didn't know why Shu Ailey and Fan Ziyu were suddenly so kind, Cindy still nodded and said, "Okay, thank you Sister Lee, thank you Sister Yu. Go quickly, don't keep the guests waiting anxiously," Fan Ziyu urged. As she spoke, Cindy took a deep breath and walked towards Gao Jun with a smile. Shu Ailey and Fan Ziyu behind him laughed secretly, curious about what would happen next. "Hello Tilder, how can I help you?" At this time, Gao Jun was looking at the fitness equipment in front of him. He had to say that compared to the sit-ups he did at home, the professional equipment in the gym provided more help. He listened to the sound and looked back. A beautiful girl with a high ponytail appeared in front of me. The face is very delicate, without too much trace of makeup. She wore light green sportswear and grey leggings, which perfectly outlined her figure. Since the neckline of the top is designed in a V shape, it can not only show her neckline, but also successfully highlight the right parts. The waist of the pants adopts a high waist design, which not only makes the waist look thinner, but also allows you to intuitively feel the amazing hip-to-waist ratio. Gao Jun replied, "Hello, in 12 days, can you train for pack abs?" Cindy originally thought that Gao Jun would say something to refuse the private training service, or that he didn't care much about her inquiry. But I didn't expect that this was the first thing he asked. Sir, can I see your abdomen?" Although Cindy has been working for 2 months, there was still some shyness on her face when she said this. "Good." Gao Jun was quite direct and lifted up his clothes slightly. Chapter 17, How can a courier like him sign up for private lessons? Cindy looked at the man in front of her. The face is strong and deep, with clear lines, as if it has been carved by time, appearing more mature and charming. Although his figure is not as big as the customers who often come here. But it can be seen that his body shape and spirit are maintained well. If boys like this keep exercising, it is only a matter of time before they have 8-pack abs, let alone 4-pack abs. However, it is obviously difficult to train for abdominal muscles in 12 days. Unless the other party is determined. Cindy asked tentatively, "I would like to ask sir, does it have to be within 12 days? Gao Jun nodded, "Yes, not even one more day. If one more day passes, it is very likely that all the sufferings I have endured in the past half-month will be wasted. If the main task cannot be completed by then, there will be no way to obtain the stock code for 5 consecutive daily limits." In order to encourage Cindy to do her best, Gao Jun also explained, "If you can help me develop for pack abs in 12 days, I will sign up for the course here." Hearing this, Cindy also became excited. She has been eager to get a private training client for more than 2 months. In order to make a better judgment, Cindy tried to say, "Sir, can I touch your abdomen? I'll try to see your current abdominal muscles." "Good." Having said that, Cindy started to work. Gao Jun also felt Cindy's little hand. It's warm and fits your belly very well. Although these white hands don't look like those of a fitness coach. But he could see that the woman had beautiful arm lines. He is indeed very capable. At the same time, Shu Ailey and Fan Ziyu were eating melons at the front desk. Shu Ailey frowned and said, "Hey? Why did you get involved?" "Har har har, could it be that Cindy has also started to use her sexuality? Fan Ziyu teased. Shu Aili looked down on her. Before, we kindly persuaded her to go out for a ride with another big brother, maybe she could get more than 10,000 yuan for the course fee, but she refused to do it. Now, she actually took the initiative to make moves on a courier. Har har, if she knew that the man was a courier, she would probably be so angry that she died. Fan Ziyu said with a smile. At this time, Hisini pressed Gao Jun's abdomen with a little force. Not much fat, a bit muscular. She raised her head and asked, "Sir, have you been exercising these days?" "Well, I did crunches, but the results weren't immediate, so I came to the gym," Gao Jun explained. "I see." Hisini made a quick judgment. "Sir, if you follow the method completely in the next 10 days, I can guarantee that you will have 4 abdominal muscles in 12 days, but the process will be very tiring and hard. Can you accept it?" Gao Jun smiled happily. "Don't worry about this. If I can't accept it, I won't spend money to come to the gym." "Okay, then sir, how many classes do you plan to sign up for?" "Our current price is 400 per class. If you sign up for 10 classes, you can get 1 class for free. If you sign up for 30 classes, you can get a 20% discount. If you sign up for 50 classes, you can get a 30% discount." Hisini originally thought that Gao Jun probably chose to come to the gym just to get 4-pack abs, so he would at most choose the 10-class discount. But at least the business is open. As long as I teach hard and achieve good results, I believe this big brother will introduce more people to me. Hisini was also secretly cheering herself up. Gao Jun originally only planned to sign up for 10 classes, but when he thought about the gym, even if the main mission failed this time, if there were more body-related check-ins in the future, he would be able to complete the tasks faster. If you sign up for 10 classes, the frequency of classes will be less than 1 per day. But 50 classes were too many. After all, if he completed the task, he still had to raise funds to buy stocks. "I don't have much money at the moment, so I have to save it." So he said, "Why don't I sign up for 30 classes first? If I can really get 4-pack abs in 12 days, I will sign up for more." Hearing this, Hisini, who had originally given up hope, was very surprised. She quickly said, "Okay. Don't worry, sir, I will definitely help you successfully develop 4-pack abs within 12 days. That's troublesome. What's the coach's last name?" Gao Jun asked. Hisini then realized that she had not introduced herself. She apologized again and again. "I'm sorry, sir, your last name is He, may I know your last name?" "My last name is Gao, Coach He, let's work together." Gao Jun stretched out his hand. Hisini quickly extended her hand and the two shook hands in a friendly manner. His hands are big and warm. "Okay, sure, Mr. Gao, I'll take you to fill out the information, and from now on you will be a fitness customer of our Aida Fitness Center." Shu Aili and Fan Ziyu at the front desk were dumbfounded. Why were they shaking hands? Seeing the two people walking towards the front desk, Shu Aili immediately lowered her head and pretended not to see them. Fan Ziyu looked at Hisini with a smile. "Sini." Hisini reminded, "Sister Yu, please help me get the fitness customer form. I will fill in the information for Mr. Gao." Fan Ziyu was stunned for a moment. "Mr. Gao, have you signed up for the class?" "Yes." Hisini nodded happily. As soon as these words were spoken, Shu Aili, who had lowered her head, immediately widened her eyes. Fan Ziyu looked at Shu Aili, as if saying with his eyes, "Didn't you say he was a courier?" Shu Aili frowned slightly. "He really is a courier." Fan Ziyu still couldn't believe it, delivering a package and signing up for a fitness class. "Shu Aili, it's okay, maybe I'll just sign up for a few trial classes." At this moment, Hisini's words pierced into their hearts again like a sharp knife. "Mr. Gao, yes, we fill in 30 classes here, and then we will give you a 20% discount." Shu Aili and Fan Ziyu looked at each other. 30 private lessons. Shu Aili had a hard time saying anything because according to the order of taking turns to receive guests, she should have been the one to recruit the courier brother herself. Shu Aili regretted it deeply at this moment. Fan Ziyu became even more agitated. I had already cursed Shu Aili several times in my heart. If she hadn't told herself that the other party was a courier, based on her service attitude, she might have been able to win him over long ago. It wouldn't have been possible for Hisini to get such a big bargain. "Okay, I paid via WeChat, 9,600. As Gao Jun finished these casual words, Hisini's heart was filled with joy. She immediately said, Mr. Gao, let's add each other on WeChat and arrange a time for the class. Are you free now? How about we start now? No, we have to work now, in the afternoon, one class at 6 p.m., then a break for an hour or so, and one class in the evening. Oh, what time does it open in the morning? If it's possible later, I'll have a class in the morning as well. Gao Jun explained. Hisini didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Mr. Gao, can you handle this? Gao Jun just smiled and nodded, saying, I can handle it. You have to eat even if you can't bear it. Do you know what the stock code of 5 consecutive daily limit increases means? It means throwing money into the cornucopia, and then money makes money, and more money. Having said that, he left. Watching Gao Jun leave calmly and gracefully, Hisini suddenly realized that these 30 classes might be completed in more than 10 days. She is about to get a commission of nearly 5,000 yuan. Thinking of this, Hisini couldn't help but become curious about Gao Jun. This guy must be a big boss who started a business. In order to achieve body management, he is so strict with himself, right? Chapter 18, Start your gym training. Because Gao Jun is Hisini's first client to sign up for so many classes. So Hisini even pinned his WeChat to the top of her page. Prevent missing VIP customer information. This also made Shu Aili and Fan Ziyu grit their teeth in envy. Especially Shu Aili, according to the order, the 10,000 yuan tuition fee should be hers. So she immediately said, Sini, look, I said that was a high-quality customer, right? Didn't the negotiation go smoothly? Hisini knew that she had bad intentions and must have thought that Mr. Gao would not sign up for the class, so she used it as a favor. So she shook her head and said, actually there is some pressure. He asked me to promise to get 6-pack abs within 12 days, otherwise he would have to return the money. Fan Ziyu's eyes widened, you agreed? Yeah. Hisini nodded. If I don't accept this client, it is very likely that there will be no successful students in the next 3 months, so I can only bite the bullet and do it. Shu Aili asked in confusion, but the owner of our gym will definitely not agree to refund the money, right? You get more than 5,000 yuan in commission, and the owner gets more than 4,000 yuan. Do you think the owner will give it back? It's okay. I have confidence. If I really can't complete the task, I will pay the 4,000 yuan out of my own pocket. Hisini explained. After hearing this, Shu Aili felt much more relieved. As expected, young, 12 days, 6-pack abs, really something to think about. Fan Ziyu also teased, hey, Sini, you are too impulsive. With the physique of that big brother just now, if he wants to train for pack abs, he can probably do it with a little bit of grit, but 6-pack abs are too difficult. It's okay. Everything depends on human effort. After saying that, Hisini turned around and left, and began to develop a series of fitness plans for Gao Jun. Seeing her serious look, Shu Aili and Fan Ziyu smiled at each other and laughed and teased her. As for Gao Jun, there are a lot of express parcels today. Even if I work until the afternoon, there are still some express deliveries that have not been delivered. It seems that the kindergarten is now over. So he took the time to call Gao Yingying. Gao Yingying picked up her phone watch and shouted excitedly, Dad. Gao Jun then smiled and asked, how was it? Did you listen to teacher Jiang today? Of course Tilder. Gao Yingying immediately pulled Jiang Yilan over and said, Teacher Jiang, was Yingying very obedient today? Jiang Yilan smiled and said, our Yingying is very obedient every day. Yingying, Daddy is busy with something and may have to wait a while before picking you up. You can play in the kindergarten first. Gao Jun reminded. Gao Yingying's little head was turning around. Then she looked up and asked Teacher Jiang, how about you take me back? Then I will ask my father to cook you a big meal. Gao Jun interrupted immediately after hearing this, Yingying, you can't always bother Teacher Jiang. This is not polite. Jiang Yilan replied, Yingying's father, it's okay. If you are busy, I will take Yingying home after the children are picked up. Teacher Jiang, thank you for your help. Gao Jun felt bad. How about this, you stay for dinner tonight? Gao Yingying also assisted at this time. Teacher Jiang, my father cooks delicious food, such as kola chicken wings, sweet and sour pork tenderloin, and he can also make soup, which is delicious. As she spoke, she also danced and seemed to describe to Jiang Yilan how delicious the food was. Jiang Yilan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She was also a little curious whether it was really that delicious. After all, there are not many men who can cook, and she has always believed that if she finds a partner who can cook, her happiness index will increase a lot. So she said, "Okay, Yingying's father, you go ahead and do your work. I'll take Yingying home later." "Okay, thank you for your help." After Gao Jun hung up the phone, he immediately got busy. It is 5 o'clock in the afternoon and he has to get to Aida Gym before 6 o'clock. During these 10 days, no matter how hard or tiring it is, I must train my abdominal muscles. Chen Haoren came back from delivering the parcels. He saw Gao Jun still sorting the parcels, so he immediately asked, "Hey, Jun, aren't you going to pick up Yingying? You go take care of the child first, I'll do it." "I asked Yingying's teacher to help send her home," Gao Jun explained. Chen Haoren suddenly thought of the young girl who led Gao Yingying that day, and he suddenly realized, oh my god. It turns out that girl from 2 days ago was Yingying's teacher. She's so beautiful. He immediately started gossiping, "Brother Jun, I've said it before, only when you lose a tree will you have a large dense forest. This teacher is both beautiful and young, you have to seize the opportunity." "What nonsense are you talking about? She just likes Yingying and is helping her out. Besides, I'm a divorced man with a baby, so I shouldn't bother the girl," Gao Jun said calmly. Chen Haoren immediately retorted, "That's wrong. Young girls nowadays like our type. After years of marriage, we will be considerate and take care of their emotions and tolerate their tempers. They also like our maturity. Jun Ji, honestly, if that girl is not interested in you, why did she insist on sending Yingying home with so many children?" Gao Jun laughed happily, "Okay, stop talking nonsense. I have sorted this piece. I am leaving now. Okay, go quickly and improve your relationship with that teacher." Chen Haoren was really happy for Gao Jun. After Gao Jun left the express station, he sent a message to Hisini. "Gao Jun, can I go to the gym now?" Hisini replied immediately, "Of course Tilda." Soon, he arrived at the gym. What was different from the morning was that Hisini changed into another set of clothes. Wearing a loose pink jacket, she is relaxing her shoulders. When she saw Gao Jun coming, she immediately stepped forward and said, "Mr. Gao, you are here. Coach He, how should we practice?" Gao Jun asked. "Don't be in a hurry, let's stretch and warm up first. Come, follow me to the stretching room." Hisini took Gao Jun into a room. Gao Jun looked at the yoga mat on the ground and smiled, "I didn't expect our gym is so well equipped. Of course, our Aida Fitness Center is widely praised by many fitness enthusiasts." After saying that, she sat down, with her hands in the air, and said to Gao Jun, "Mr. Gao, please sit down and give me your hands." Gao Jun also sat down and began to follow Hisini's steps. Although this was a warm-up exercise, Hisini felt a little shy when the two of them held hands. This is also the first student she has had face-to-face private lessons with since she started working 2 months ago. During the stretching process, Gao Jun noticed Hisini's embarrassment and tried to open the topic. "Coach He, how old are you?" Hisini was stunned for a moment. When she realized that she was being asked about her age, she quickly replied, "I'm 22. So young." Gao Jun said happily. Hisini also said, "Mr. Gao doesn't look old, he should be only 1 or 2 years older than me. I'm almost 30. Gao Jun replied. "I can't tell at all." Hisini was also surprised. During the conversation, Gao Jun followed Hisini's step by step. "Come on, let's stretch foot to foot tilde." As they spoke, they placed their feet towards each other, held hands, and began to exert force. "Come on, Mr. Gao, pull back hard tilde." Hisini also started to pull back. "Come on, let's all try harder tilde." Gao Jun also exerted a little force, and in this way, he brought Hisini's body over, and her body leaned slightly forward towards him. Because she was wearing a tight top, when she leaned forward, she could see the grandeur all at once. The groove is deep and beautiful. Suddenly Gao Jun realized that the deepest Mariana Trench in the world is just like this. Chapter 19 Coach He's Bathroom Body Tilde. Soon, Hisini stood next to Gao Jun, placed her hands gently on his shoulders, and began to guide him in stretching exercises. Gao Jun followed her instructions, slowly bending his body and stretching his muscles as much as possible. Although Gao Jun thought this was normal contact between a coach and a student, there were differences between men and women after all. Especially for Hisini, who had just been in the job for less than 2 months and Gao Jun was his first VIP private teaching student, she was somewhat shy about this kind of contact. But she always maintained a rigorous and serious attitude. After all, Gao Jun had signed up for nearly 10,000 yuan worth of private lessons with her. Hisini must help him fulfill his promise of having 4-pack abs within 12 days. After stretching, she took Gao Jun to the equipment area. First, let Gao Jun do a few sets of inverted sit-ups. This exercise, which uses abdominal strength to lift the upper body, is much more useful than the usual sit-up exercises while lying on the ground. Sure enough, Gao Jun was so tired that he started gasping for breath after only doing 3 sets. Seeing this, Hisini helped to press Gao Jun's abdomen to relax his muscles and said, "It's okay. It's the first day of practice, so take it slow." While massaging, Gao Jun's eyes were facing Hisini's face. "Following your gaze, your cleavage seems to be there and not there." In order to avoid embarrassment, Gao Jun tilted his head slightly. Hisini also realized this and her face turned slightly red. But this is inevitable. After all, in the fitness area, everyone has only one goal. That's fitness exercise. So she also believed that Gao Jun had no intention of looking at her 2 big dumplings. "Come on, let's move on to the next abdominal muscle training." Just as Hisini was patiently teaching Gao Jun, Shu Ailey and Fan Ziyu at the front desk started to joke. "Ailey, do you think Sini can successfully help that Korea boy develop 6-pack abs?" Fan Ziyu asked. Shu Ailey rolled her eyes and said, "How is that possible? Even a fitness fanatic would need more than a month. Do you think a Korea can endure such hardship? He would be in so much pain after 2 days at most that he wouldn't want to come. I can't guarantee such a thing. Fortunately, I didn't take the order." Then let Sini hit a wall. Then she will lose both the wife and the army, har har. Fan Ziyu was also waiting for the show to begin. They all agreed that not only would Hisini not get any commission money, she might even be fired by her boss. However, Hisini didn't think so much. Since Gao Jun believed in her, she would do her best to teach him. We will only know the result after 12 days. Soon, the time for 2 exercise classes arrived. Gao Jun was sweating profusely, gasping for breath continuously. Hisini was also busy running around, so her neck was sweating a lot. She then took out a towel from her bag and handed it to Gao Jun, saying, "Mr. Gao, come and wipe it." "Thank you, Coach He. There's no need for us to be so unfamiliar with each other. Just call me Gao Jun," Gao Jun suggested. Hisini smiled and shook her head. "No, you are older than me. Even if you don't call me Mr. Gao, you can't just call me by my name. Otherwise, I will call you Brother Gao. Either is fine," Gao Jun said with a smile. Hisini reminded him, "After you go back, Brother Gao can eat some protein powder, and then don't practice at night. Get a good rest. This won't be accomplished in a day or 2. Okay." Gao Jun nodded. Seeing that he was sweating all over, Hisini suggested, "Why don't you take a shower? We have a bathroom here." "That's fine." The 2 then packed up their things and went into the bathroom. There happened to be 2 vacancies. Hisini reminded him, "Brother Gao, take a hot bath, your muscles won't be so sore." "Sorry to bother Coach He." Hisini thought about it and said, "How about Brother Gao, don't call me Coach He anymore, just call me Sini." "Okay, Sini, I'll go in first." "Okay, Tilder." When Hisini saw Gao Jun walk into the bathroom, she also breathed a sigh of relief. During these 2 classes, this tall brother in front of me was very serious. It seems that there is only one goal in mind, which is to build abdominal muscles. She is not like some boys at all, who would even flirt with their own coaches. And when Brother Gao and his partner were exercising together, they always maintained a gentlemanly distance. Hisini also appreciated this approach. "It seems I met a good student." This also made Hisini more determined to let Gao Jun complete the task in his heart. "Come on, Sini, you can do it." After cheering herself up, Hisini also walked into the bathroom and planned to take a bath. Her and Gao Jun's bathrooms were next to each other, and they could even hear each other's movements occasionally. Amid the sound of the shower, Hee-Sini began to wonder why Gao Jun wanted to have 4-pack abs within 12 days. As she was thinking about it, she suddenly realized that she hadn't taken her bath towel. Just at this time Gao Jun came out of the shower. Hee-Sini was anxious, so she called out, "Brother Gao, are you there?" Gao Jun answered from outside the door, "What's wrong?" "My bath towel seems to be on that bench. Can you help me see if it is there?" Hee-Sini asked. Gao Jun looked around and noticed that there was indeed a long bath towel on the bench, so he picked it up, walked to the door, knocked on it and said, "Yes, open the door a crack and I'll hand it to you." "Okay, thank you brother Gao." Hee-Sini was soaked all over at this time. She carefully opened the door and stretched out a little hand. Gao Jun looked at the little hand, which was slender and white, with many water droplets on it, and was groping in the air. So he handed the bath towel to Hee-Sini. After Hee-Sini grabbed the bath towel, she hurriedly took it back. But the bath towel was too long, causing the gap in the door to open a little wider. Gao Jun saw through the crack in the door a young girl, who was soaking wet, hiding by the door. Even Gao Jun, who was usually calm, took a breath of cold air at this moment. After Hee-Sini took the bath towel, she immediately walked out. She looked at Gao Jun, who was still drying his hair, with a look of embarrassment on her face, but also a hint of ashamedness. Gao Jun looked back at her at this time. She was already wearing a black tight top and her hair was still wet. He reminded her, "Wipe it off quickly, otherwise you will catch a cold." "Okay." Hee-Sini thanked him, "Brother Gao, thanks to you. Otherwise, I don't know how long I would have to wait for someone to bring me a bath towel." "Har har, it's okay, but there's still a lot of water on your body, it hasn't been wiped clean yet." Gao Jun said as he took another clean bath towel, "Hurry, wipe it." "Okay, thank you." Soon, Gao Jun left with a smile. The two agreed to continue at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Brother Gao is really determined. This is Hee-Sini's inner admiration for Gao Jun. At the same time, Jiang Yilan had already taken Gao Yingyin home. On their way back, she learned about the general situation of Yingyin's parents. From Gao Yingyin's words, Yingyin's mother never cared about the family, and it was Gao Jun who had been taking care of them all along. Moreover, Gao Jun has not chosen to divorce for Yingyin's physical and mental health. Gao Yingyin said, feeling sorry for her father, "Actually, I know that dad is really tired sometimes, so I don't want to cause trouble for him. It would be great if I could grow up quickly." Hearing this, Jiang Yilan felt very distressed. She hugged Gao Yingyin and said, "My dear child, if your father knew that you thought so, he would be very happy. I'm back." As the door opened, Gao Jun's voice was heard. Gao Yingyin immediately said excitedly, "Dad, you're back. Hurry up and make a feast." Jiang Yilan looked at Gao Jun at this time and saw that he looked tired, but the moment he saw Gao Yingyin, he immediately smiled. It was this action that made her feel that Yingyin's father was more reliable than most men. But, why did Yingyin's mother want to divorce such a good man? This made Jiang Yilan curious about Gao Jun. Chapter 20 I don't want you to be my student stepmother. Teacher Jiang, thank you for your hard work. Gao Jun first hugged Gao Yingyin, then walked to Jiang Yilan and expressed his gratitude. Jiang Yilan smiled and said, "It's okay. I can just chat with Yingyin." As she said that, she looked at Gao Yingyin. "Okay, Yingyin, the teacher will leave first." Gao Yingyin quickly said, "Teacher Jiang, don't you want to stay for dinner?" "Dad, go cook." She stretched out her little hand and directed Gao Jun. "Yes, Teacher Jiang, please stay for dinner. After all, you can help look after Yingyin." Gao Jun persuaded her to stay. Originally, Jiang Yilan just wanted to say something polite, but she didn't expect Gao Yingyin to be so serious, and Gao Jun also asked her to stay for dinner. So she smiled and replied, "Then I'll trouble Yingyin's father. I can help later." "No need." Gao Jun said happily, "Teacher Jiang, please sit here for a while. I will go to cook now." As he said that, he walked into the kitchen. Jiang Yilan sat on the sofa, looking towards the kitchen, and saw Gao Jun wearing an apron. Then he took out vegetables and meat from the refrigerator and started to work. The image of a house husband emerged. But Jiang Yilan didn't think there was anything wrong with it. On the contrary, she thinks that men who can cook are really attractive. Perhaps because she was too soft-hearted, Jiang Yilan finally stood up, walked into the kitchen, and asked, "Dad Yingying, is there anything I can help you with?" "No need, Teacher Jiang, just go out and sit down," Gao Jun explained. Just at this moment, Jiang Yilan noticed that he was beating eggs, so she quickly stepped forward and said, "Dad Yingying, how about I beat eggs for you? I'm very good at beating eggs." Gao Jun knew that if he didn't assign Jiang Yilan some kitchen tasks, she would probably not be able to eat peacefully. So he gave the task of beating the eggs to Jiang Yilan. Gao Jun also asked, "It seems that Teacher Jiang can also cook." After hearing this, Jiang Yilan said embarrassedly, Actually, I can't cook. Beating eggs is what I am best at. Usually my best friend cooks." "It's okay, you can come over for meals later," Gao Jun said with a smile. "That's so embarrassing." "It's okay, just treat this place as your own home." After Gao Jun said this, he suddenly realized that something seemed wrong. But he had already finished speaking, so he could only add awkwardly, "Yingying likes you too much, so just treat your visit here as your own home." Okay. Jiang Yilan was a little shy. After a while, she beat the eggs. Then she looked at the sausages on the table and asked, "Do you want to cut these sausages into small pieces?" "Yes." Gao Jun hesitated for a moment and asked tentatively, "Can you cut it?" "I can do it." Jiang Yilan nodded, obviously very confident. "Good." So Gao Jun took out a knife and handed it to Jiang Yilan, then reminded her, "Be careful." Jiang Yilan said confidently, "Don't worry." As she spoke, she picked up a knife and began to cut the ham. During this time, Gao Yingying secretly came to the kitchen door and observed Jiang Yilan and Gao Jun. In Gao Yingying's eyes, the conversations between the two of them were simply the development of their relationship. She covered her mouth and thought secretly, "Happy for my dad." Just when the atmosphere was just right, the cell phone rang, interrupting the conversation between the two people in the kitchen. Gao Jun glanced at the phone screen and couldn't help but frown. Jiang Yilan also noticed the change in Gao Jun's expression, and she understood who called. Sure enough, Gao Jun turned around and glanced at Gao Yingying outside and said, "Yingying, come here. Your mother called you." Hearing this, Gao Yingying pouted her lips and shook her head, "No, I won't answer it." "Hurry up and answer it, otherwise she will urge you later. Be obedient." Gao Jun comforted. Gao Yingying then walked over slowly and took the phone. "Hello, Mom. Why did you answer the phone so late?" "Hey, Yingying, right? I'm your mother." Gu Feier's voice immediately changed from serious to gentle. She asked with concern, "Has Yingying eaten?" Gao Yingying replied, "Not yet, Dad is cooking." "Okay, then give the phone to Dad." Hearing this, Gao Yingying immediately handed the phone to Gao Jun and said, "Dad gives it to you, Mom is looking for you." Gao Jun was cutting vegetables at the moment, and had to put down his work to answer her call. He sighed helplessly, and finally pressed the no question button and asked, "What's wrong? How can you be a father? It's already 7:30 and you haven't fed the child yet." Gu Feier immediately questioned Gao Jun after hearing his voice. "I was delayed by something," Gao Jun replied. "If you can't take care of her, then give me the custody." Gu Feier mocked, "You took your child to buy clothes worth thousands of dollars a while ago, and took her to a fancy sushi restaurant. What were you thinking? Is your salary enough for living expenses in the future? Ms. Gu, it's none of your business how I spend my money. The law gives you 1 day of visiting each week, but that doesn't mean you can talk so much nonsense on the phone." After saying that, Gao Jun hung up. Only then did he notice that Jiang Yilan was still beside him. "I feel a little regretful." He apologized to Jiang Yilan in a sheepish manner, "Teacher Jiang, I'm sorry to have made a fool of myself." It was also the first time that Jiang Yilan heard the conversation between Gao Yingying's parents. Although every family has its own problems, she didn't know why Yingying's parents wanted to divorce. But judging from the conversation just now between Yingying's mother and Gao Yingying, there is some truth in why she doesn't like her mother. Thinking of this, she felt a little sorry for the man in front of her. Jiang Yilan immediately smiled and said, "It's okay, let's continue cooking." Good. Gao Jun also realized that it was very late, so he hurried to start cooking. While Jiang Yilan was cutting the ham, she was still thinking about what had just happened. As a result, I was not careful. Hissed Hilda. She quickly put the knife down and looked at her index finger. Blood oozed from the tip of my index finger. Seeing this, Gao Jun immediately turned off the fire, then walked out of the kitchen and went to the living room to look for the medicine box. He returned to the kitchen with the gauze and said to Jiang Yilan, "Come on, hold it down quickly." It just so happened that Jiang Yilan's other hand was stained with oil, so she couldn't take the gauze. So Gao Jun took the gauze, pressed her finger and said, "I'll hold you down first, go wash your hands." Good. After Jiang Yilan washed her hands, she whispered, "Ying Dad, let me press it." Good. Only then did Gao Jun move his hand away. It just so happened that the two of them looked at each other at this time. Perhaps it was the rather intimate action just now that made Jiang Yilan feel embarrassed. But Gao Jun didn't think too much about it. He took out iodine and band-aids from the medicine box. "It should stop bleeding. I'll apply it on you." Originally, Jiang Yilan wanted to tell Gao Jun that she could apply the iodine herself. But for some reason, under such circumstances, she actually obediently stretched out her index finger and waited. Gao Jun gently applied iodine on her index finger with a cotton swab and even blew some air on it to relieve the pain. Such concern also made Jiang Yilan blush. But I have to admit that when a man carefully applies medicine to your wounds, the charm is really great. "Teacher Jiang, please go out and have a rest. I will prepare the meal soon." Jiang Yilan came back to her senses and found that Gao Jun had already put on the band-aid. She nodded and said awkwardly, "I'm sorry, Yingying's father, I'm doing you a disservice." "It's okay, we'll be able to eat soon." When Jiang Yilan walked out of the kitchen, Gao Yingying realized that her teacher had been cut by a knife. She asked questions immediately, and even complained to Gao Jun at the kitchen door, "Dad, how could you let teacher Jiang get hurt? I will make you kneel on the washboard tonight." As soon as these words were spoken, Jiang Yilan and Gao Jun both laughed at the same time. Soon the meal was ready. Gao Yingying said excitedly, "Teacher Jiang, try it quickly, it's delicious." Gao Jun also said, "Yes, Teacher Jiang, please try it." Jiang Yilan smiled and said, "Then I won't be polite. I'll try it." She picked up a piece of meat and tasted it. Gao Yingying asked curiously, "How is it?" "Teacher Jiang, is it delicious?" "Delicious." Jiang Yilan widened her eyes. She didn't expect Gao Jun's cooking skills to be so superb. Gao Jun also became happy after hearing this. "If it tastes good, then eat more." Gao Yingying also started eating mode. Look at these two, one big and one small, eating seriously. He was also very pleased. During the meal, Jiang Yilan's best friend Han Yuan sent a message asking, "When will you come back? I have prepared the meal." Jiang Yilan replied, "I forgot to tell you that I won't be going back for dinner tonight." Han Yuan, damn it, you went to a big meal behind my back. Jiang Yilan, "No, I went to a student's home." Han Yuan, "Could it be that divorced student family?" Jiang Yilan, Han Yuan, "Oh my god, are you attracted to that divorced guy? Besides, the food he cooks is not as delicious as mine." Jiang Yilan took a photo and sent it to her. Next second, Han Yuan sent several messages. Han Yuan, "Holy crap. Is this the food he cooked?" Han Yuan, "Sister, my dear sister, is it delicious? Ask him if he still needs a girlfriend now." Han Yuan, "Hurry up and be the matchmaker, let me get in touch with this big brother, I want to eat him." Woo woo woo. Han Yuan, "I really want to eat him. Quick." Jiang Yilan saw the messages and looked up at the scene where Gao Jun and Gao Yingying were talking and laughing. Finally, I replied, "No, I don't want you to be my student's stepmother." Chapter 21. Can you accompany me to the amusement park? Han Yuan, "What? You are such a vicious person, Jiang Yilan. Tell me, are you attracted to that divorced guy?" Han Yuan, "You don't want to be your student's stepmother." Jiang Yilan, "Don't talk nonsense, I didn't. Han Yuan, "Just admit it, little blackie." Gao Jun saw Jiang Yilan sending messages and thought she was dealing with work matters, so he asked, "Teacher Jiang, are you busy?" How about I take you home first? Jiang Yilan immediately put down the phone and said, nothing, just a small matter. Gao Yingyin picked up a piece of meat and placed it on Jiang Yilan's bowl. Teacher Jiang, eat some meat quickly, you are too thin. Jiang Yilan smiled and replied, you should eat more meat, you will grow taller, do you know? You too have to eat meat. Gao Jun laughed. One needs to grow taller, and the other needs to gain weight. Teacher Jiang, you are indeed too thin. Gao Jun said as he picked up a piece of meat for Jiang Yilan. Jiang Yilan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. This was the double love between father and daughter. She eventually finished it all. I have to say, the food Gao Jun cooks is so delicious. She now envies Gao Yingyin's life. After all, my best friend only makes scrambled eggs with tomatoes and fried eggs with bitter gourd every day. That's why she's so good at beating eggs. Eggs are indispensable to their lives. Soon, all the food on the table was eaten up. Jiang Yilan said embarrassedly, I haven't eaten so full in a long time. Gao Yingyin took the opportunity to say, Teacher Jiang, why don't you come over every night for dinner? Jiang Yilan quickly shook her head, how can this be so embarrassing? Teacher Jiang, if you don't mind, you can come over for dinner in the next 10 days or so, because I really can't pick up Yingyin from school on time these 10 days. Gao Jun said shamelessly. In the next 10 days or so, he has to focus on the gym. And if Jiang Yilan can take over the task of picking up Gao Yingyin smoothly, you don't have to worry about it. As for staying for dinner at night, it's just a matter of adding a pair of chopsticks. Seeing this, Jiang Yilan also said, if that's the case, then it's fine. I can take Yingyin home in the next 2 weeks. Gao Yingyin was very happy when she heard it, that's great. Seeing Gao Yingyin so happy, Gao Jun knew that handing her over to teacher Jiang was the best choice. Before saying goodbye, Jiang Yilan hesitated for a moment and asked Gao Jun, Yingyin's father, my best friend and I live together, and he is usually responsible for cooking for me. If I don't go home to eat for more than half a month, he probably won't want to cook. Can he make an extra meal for her so you can take it back later, right? Gao Jun said with a smile. Jiang Yilan nodded immediately, yes, I wonder if it's okay. Of course, no problem. We also have to let our best friends have delicious meals. Gao Jun replied. This sentence also made Jiang Yilan very happy. Then she returned home. Han Yuan frowned as expected, I thought you were not coming back. How could that be? I still miss you. Jiang Yilan said happily. Bar, you're thinking about that divorced guy, right? Han Yuan asked doubtfully, is that divorced guy really that good? Oh, and is the food he cooks really delicious? You'll know if it tastes good tomorrow. Han Yuan immediately came to her side, why? I asked him to make an extra meal. I'll pack it up and bring it back for you so you don't have to cook. Jiang Yilan replied. Hearing this, Han Yuan jumped up excitedly. That's great. I knew Lan loved me the most. I declare that the divorced brother is given to you. Han Yuan made a gesture of giving in. Jiang Yilan was speechless, don't talk nonsense, and don't always mention the divorced brother, his last name is Gao. Oh my, you've just eaten one meal with someone and you're already speaking for them. If you eat 2 more meals with them, you're going to sleep with them, right? Han Yuan teased. I'm going to beat you up. Jiang Yilan said as she chased into the bedroom and spanked Han Yuan on the butt. It's murder for money tilde. When will you come back? At this moment, Lin Chen at home was talking on the phone with Liang Yarqi. Ever since Liang Yak said she was going back to her parents' home, she hasn't been home for nearly 2 weeks. At first, Lin Chen felt at peace, but later he gradually got used to it. So he called Lung Yak. Liang Yarqi was sitting on the sofa in the hotel at the moment, looking at the scenery outside the window, and said calmly, I want to stay a few more days. Anyway, when I go home, you are often away, so it doesn't matter whether I go back or not. Oh, honey, I've been busy on business trips lately. Lin Chen thought that Liang Yarqi hadn't noticed his infidelity, so he was using sweet words to please her. Little did he know that Liang Yarqi's heart had already died. She has figured it out these days. Maybe Gao Jun is right. People cannot live in the past. People should live for themselves. The first half of life. 1. That's the second half of life. So these days, she has been thinking in a hotel. I never thought about divorce before. She even thought about how to win back her husband. But now her mind has changed. Instead of living such a tiring life, it is better to relax. As I was thinking, a man's figure appeared in front of me again. That was Gao Jun, who had scolded him before. When she thought of him scolding her while carrying her on his back to the car, Liang Yarki couldn't help but laugh. The next few days, Gao Jun almost goes back and forth between these 4 points. First, I sent my daughter to kindergarten early, and then went straight to the gym to exercise my muscles for a class. Then after finishing his courier work during the day, he immediately rushed to the gym in the afternoon. At first, Cine thought Gao Jun was just a flash in the pan. I didn't expect that he could actually stick to it. It really surprised her. The abdominal muscle lines are becoming more and more obvious. It can be seen that as long as you persist, you can develop for abdominal muscles within the specified time. Gao Jun was naturally very happy too. As long as the task of these for abdominal muscles is completed, you will be rewarded. Once you have a stock code that has hit the daily limit for 5 consecutive days, you can make a fortune. Just as he was about to deliver a package and planned to do some more fitness exercise in the afternoon, Liang Yarki appeared. When Gao Jun saw her, he immediately had a bad feeling. He asked, "What's the matter this time? I've already told you not to come to me again." Liang Yarki was wearing casual clothes today, a light yellow jacket and a pair of jeans. She suddenly changed from a young woman to a college girl. She looked at Gao Jun with a smile, her eyes showing some expectation. "Can you take me to the amusement park today? You're sick." Gao Jun heard her request and said this catchphrase again, "Don't I have to work?" Liang Yarki looked at the express delivery he packed, then thought for a moment and asked, "I'll give you 3,000 yuan, and accompany me to the amusement park to play for a day, okay?" Hearing this, Gao Jun was stunned for a moment. Liang Yarki thought he disagreed again and felt a little depressed. "It's going to cost extra, 5,000. When Gao Jun mentioned that he wanted to pay more, Liang Yarki agreed with a smile without even thinking, "Okay." As she spoke, she took out her cell phone and transferred 5,000 yuan to Gao Jun. "Let's go." Gao Jun looked back at Chen Haoren and said, "Haoren, you have to work hard today. I will give you 500 yuan later." Chen Haoren was stunned and just watched Gao Jun leave with another beautiful girl. What just happened was still lingering in his mind. A woman invites her best friend to go to the amusement park with her, and then gives him 5,000 yuan. Chen Haoren looked at his express delivery and it suddenly lost its appeal. Chapter 22, burying my face in Gao Jun's arms. On their way to the playground, Gao Jun drove the car seriously. Just like the previous 2 times, Liang Yarki looked out the window and watched the hustle and bustle of traffic in front of her. Because there is a traffic light ahead. After Gao Jun stopped the car, he took out his cell phone. He first received the 5,000 yuan given by Liang Yarki. The other side. The system gave double the money-making reward. China Merchants Bank, your savings account with the last number 0948 has a deposit income of 5,000 renminbi, and the current account balance is 25,531 renminbi. Adding the more than 5,000 yuan in WeChat change, there is only a little over 30,000 yuan left. If you complete the task in the next 2 days, you will get a stock code that will hit the daily limit for 5 consecutive days. But even if my 40,000 yuan increased for 5 consecutive days, at a rate of 10% per day, I would only have made more than 20,000 yuan in the end, plus the double amount given by the system. The total profit was only over 50,000. The principle is still not enough. Gao Jun thought about borrowing from Chen Haoren, but he had just spent all his savings on that express delivery station some time ago. I still owe him 100,000 yuan, and I'm afraid he won't be able to come up with more money all at once. Thinking of this, Gao Jun couldn't help but sigh. Liang Yarki, who was looking out the window at this time, heard his sigh. She turned to look at Gao Jun and asked tentatively, "Do you hate being with me?" Gao Jun came back to his senses and replied, "My sigh just now was not directed at you, don't misunderstand." When Liang Yarki heard this, she asked curiously, "Is it because of your ex-wife?" "Of course not." Gao Jun explained calmly, "Whether she is dead or alive now, even if she is separated, it has nothing to do with me. Seeing him so carefree, Liang Yarqi envied him for a moment. I also want to have the same mentality as you. Adjust your state slowly. When you make up your mind to leave that scumbag, you will find that you gave up a rotten tree but gained a large forest. A beautiful life is waiting to you. After hearing this, Liang Yarqi did not respond, but continued to look out the window with a confused look on her face. Soon, we arrived at the amusement park. Gao Jun parked the car and took Liang Yarqi into the venue. After getting off the car, Liang Yarqi calmed down. Her face began to fill with anticipation. It's been more than 4 years since I last came to the amusement park. When I was in college, I loved going to the amusement park with my girlfriends. After hearing what she said, Gao Jun was a little curious. You like to come to the amusement park, so why haven't you been here in the past 4 years? Liang Yarqi just smiled and replied, because he doesn't like coming to the amusement park, so I never came again. Gao Jun naturally knew who she was talking about. Suddenly, he felt sorry for the woman in front of him. If we talk about Liang Yarqi's shortcomings, it is that she is love-brained. My partner doesn't like coming to the amusement park, so I haven't been there in the past 4 years. Compared to her personality, her husband Lin Chen deserves to die. So Gao Jun said, then you should have fun today. Liang Yarqi looked at him at this time and said with a smile, no, it's just for the two of us to have fun. I paid for it. As the saying goes, one who receives favors from others will be grateful, and one who eats from others will be soft-hearted. Gao Jun took a full 5,000 yuan from her, so naturally he had to serve her well. So he said, okay, the rest of the journey will be up to you. Liang Yarqi also became happy. Let's go ride the roller coaster first. While waiting in line, Liang Yarqi asked Gao Jun, do you like coming to the amusement park? Gao Jun replied, I can't say I like it, nor can I say I hate it, but Ying really likes coming to this kind of place. That's great. Liang Yarqi heard his answer, for the person you love, so you would be happy to come to a place like this, right? I guess so. After hearing this, Liang Yarqi didn't say anything more. She looked up at the roller coaster, listening to the shouts of the people on it, her eyes full of anticipation. It was finally their turn. Gao Jun and Liang Yarqi sat on it together. Liang Yarqi was very excited. She looked at Gao Jun and asked, are you afraid? A little bit. Gao Jun naturally told the truth. It's okay. If you're afraid, just hold my hand. Liang Yarqi said, shaking her right hand in front of him, smiling foolishly. Gao Jun said calmly, no, I'll just hold onto the seat belt. HMPH. Liang Yarqi made a face at him. This also surprised Gao Jun a little. It can be seen that since entering the amusement park, Liang Yarqi's state and mood are like the little girl she was in college several years ago. It was completely different from the previous scene of getting drunk on the beach. This is also a good thing. After all, if you are always in an emo state, you will get depressed sooner or later. Gao Jun thought that not only could he make money, but he could also help others. Only he could do such a good deed. As he was thinking about it, he felt the roller coaster start. Before I could react, the roller coaster quickly flew downwards. At once, all the tourists in the car screamed. Liang Yarqi is no exception. She yelled loudly. Artilder, Artilder. Wave after wave of screams lingered in Gao Jun's ears. It can be seen that she is releasing her emotions to her heart's content at this moment. Gao Jun was not in such a good mood. He never expected that this roller coaster would be so thrilling and fast. After a roller coaster ride, he was gasping for breath. Liang Yarqi covered her mouth and laughed, it seems that you are not doing well. Gao Jun rolled his eyes at her and said, I didn't say I can't do it. Let's go to the next level. Seeing that he was not defeated by the roller coaster, Liang Yarqi became interested. She then pointed to the bumper